on another episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, you probably seen the thumbnail of this episode right now. You're probably excited about this conversation because I'm excited about this conversation. We got a Columbus juggernaut in the building today, man. But before I introduce him, we're going to chop it up with him. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to him about, man. But of course, gotta shout out to people who support the pod back home. Y'all know I'm East Coast guy back home in Philly. If you are in need of a personal chef, you want to tap in with my man Joe with Joe Chef Life Catering. Whatever you need, if you got events that you need catered, special occasions, you do dinner for twos, you and your loved one, Super Bowl games, finals, NBA finals, a few sports you need, food catering for your events. Serving the tri-state area, everything's made fresh to order. Serving Philly, Jersey, and Delaware. Tap in with Joe Chef Life Catering. The link will be in the description of this episode. All my East Coast people, right here locally in Columbus. If you're trying to get some nutrition in your body, trying to get your mind and your body right, you want to hit up Whitehall Nutrition Lounge. I think they actually just changed their name. I believe they're just known as the Whitehall Fit Spot now. So if you're familiar with the Columbus area, they're right off of Broad and Yearling. Ran by Nitai and his wife. So they're doing great things, putting the health and prosperity in the community in Columbus. So make sure you tap in with them. That's Whitehall Nutrition Lounge. Last but not leastly, out in Dayton, Ohio, if you are in need of any graphics, any merch design, website design, logo creation, album cover artwork, whatever you need to visually represent your brand and or business, hit up Deontay Tater with the FlyerAgency.com. Okay, now that we got all the plugs out the way, I'll be here all day if I try to run off the introduction for this guy. Because I was telling him as soon as he got in here, I was like, you got one hell of a catalog, man. He's like, I've been doing it for a minute. I've been doing this for a minute. It is none other than Illogic is here with us today.
What up?
Oh, shit. Goddamn, Illogic. Okay. A lot to unpack, man. I've been, like, since we've been talking about setting this up, I've been just, like, immersing myself in your catalog, getting familiar with all your music. And I was telling you behind the scenes before we started recording, I instantly thought, I was like, somebody's playing the trick with me. That's Pharaoh Mach, goddammit. That is Pharaoh Mach. Okay, let's do this. Let's start here. First time on the show. And I was telling him, too, I was like, I haven't seen you do a lot of interviews, or if they are, I can't find them. Like, I was like telling him, like, I wasn't sure if you go like, yeah, I'll do it or not. He was like, it was very easy. He was like, yo, just let me know date and time. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, before we get into your story, do you do a lot of interviews? Like,
not too much. I mean, when I have records out and when I'm promotion and stuff like that, I do. But
you're not just out there.
I'm not just out doing a lot of interviews. Because especially because me and Blueprint have our own podcast, so. I'm talking that. Super duty tough work.
Yeah, so I'm doing my own podcast anyway.
Yeah, so I'm talking a lot, anyway. So it's not like people don't see me. But when I have album runs, I do interviews. Yeah, it's some out there.
There you go. Okay, if we scrummage far enough, we can find something.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Okay, man. Let's get into your story for those who don't know, and for those who aren't familiar with you, and I'm going to get familiar with your story as well, other than just listen to the music. But listen to your music, like, the question just started turning. Like, I was like, I want to know where all this began. So let's start from the beginning. Born right here in Columbus, Ohio?
Born and raised Columbus, Ohio. Born, actually, on OSU campus.
Oh, shit.
At Ohio State University Hospital.
Yeah, look at that.
Buckeye from birth.
That's right. Not manufactured.
Right.
Homegrown. Yes. Yeah. Okay. What side of town are we talking that you came up on?
Well, I started out actually Maine, Mound, Miller, Kelton area.
Okay.
That's where I came up, elementary, middle school, and then ended up moving up Forest Park area for high school.
Okay.
So I've been, all around.
All around, okay. Yeah. It's funny, like when I first got here to Columbus, I got here in 2016, right? And like one thing that I noticed, like the first thing is like when I started like kind of like meeting people and conversation with people, the first thing they ask you, like if they don't already know you, they ask you, what high school you went to? And I wonder, I'm like, why is everyone asking me what fucking high school I went to? And then like someone told me, I asked them, I was like, why don't out here y'all ask everybody like what high school they went to? Like, oh, that's just like we know where you're from. Yeah. Like we know where. Okay, he's east side. He's south side. I'm like, oh, that's how you identify like what this motherfucker's all about. Pretty much. Where you from? Yeah. Yeah. Like we just who you know, who you might know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he over there with such and such. Right. I was like, oh, so that's just how y'all identify where people are from. Yeah. So do you like claim a certain side? Like if people say like, oh, what side you?
Yeah, I'm more claim north side. North side. You know, Forest Park. You know, that's where I kind of grew into my own. Yeah. Because I went to Kaz High School, which was an alternative high school. So we didn't have sports teams and stuff. So I actually played sports for my home high school, which was Northland High School. Yeah. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. You do football, wrestling, basketball?
Ran track.
Hey. Yeah. 100 meters?
Track running. Yeah, 100. All the sprints.
All the sprints. Quick it out.
yeah.
Well, was you making some noise? Was your name in the paper?
Oh yeah. I was. Till I got hurt. Oh shit. I had scholarship and everything for college till I got hurt. Oh, you was
like that.
Yeah. I was running summer track and all that. You know.
What was the injury?
Hamstring. Tore my hamstring. Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. Like tore it. You know, like could barely walk.
Oh, dang. Oh, you fucked up.
Yeah, like I was on crutches for months. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. He was down. Yeah. Did it happen at an event?
Yeah, happened at the. I think it was either the state or city meet in the 100, and yeah.
Pow!
Yeah, I was gone. You know.
Was it a bad start off or?
Nah, it was just mid stride, like probably about maybe 20 meters in. You know, and
you went down.
Yeah, went down.
Damn, track career over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, but then my son, you know, he kind of picked up the mantle till, you know, he's tried to become a knucklehead, you know. Okay. And, you know, that's a whole nother story.
Right, you got him out of that phase.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. You know.
Like, listen, we're going to get you the straight and narrow. It's all right. Yeah. Okay, but so, well, I'm curious, because, like I said, like, your music was just, like, making my mind just, like, your music, it takes me places. Like it's almost like you're listening to a visual world, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like it's one of those things where if you're not doing nothing, you can find yourself seeping into what you're doing on the microphone. So like as a kid coming up, like what type of kid were you? Were you always a creative kid? Was you like always good at writing? Because your writing is very like, it seems like it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I was always studious? Like really introspective and studious. Like my mother was very. She really made the English language a part of my daily routine. Okay. You know, like I read the dictionary, had words of the week, you know, stuff like that. So she made sure that, and she was really, you know, into English, really into writing and everything. So as a kid, I wrote a lot of poetry, wrote a lot of short stories and stuff before I even discovered, you know, what hip hop was. Really? And so writing was always, you know, part of my ingrained.
Yeah, you know, so that growth. Started early for you. We talking like grade early. School, elementary.
Oh yeah, elementary.
You're just writing.
Yeah, I mean, actually, my mother, and I don't know any now, so don't ask me to speak. Okay. But my mother actually like started teaching me French before she started teaching me English. What? So I was speaking some French as a little kid. That's so she was always trying to teach me, you know, just linguistic things as a kid. So so it's kind of ingrained in me, you know, languages and words.
Yeah. So. Like what type of kid were you? Were you just like off to yourself? Were you in the popular crowd? Where I know you said you did the sports and everything. You just did the sports.
Nah, I was. It's interesting. Like I was as a kid. I was really introverted, kind of in the house. Did a lot of reading, writing, playing video games. You know, I would go outside and play. You know, but I didn't have a lot of, you know, groups of friends and stuff. Like I kind of stayed to myself. But in school, you know, because I never really hung out with one particular group. You know what I'm saying? Like I was cool with everybody. Like in middle school, I played the saxophone, so I was in with the band people. I did plays and stuff, so I was in with the theater people. Ran track, so I was with the jocks, and I did the rapping, so I was still cool. You know what I mean? So, and I was good. I had good grades too, so I hung out. So I kind of hung out with everybody, but I wasn't close to anybody.
So you could just bounce around from group to group, to pocket to pocket.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself gravitating more to like one side of a
Not really
group? Just whatever.
Yeah, just whatever I was into at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is wild because like I never really went to parties. I never really did a lot of hanging out with anybody from school outside of school.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So today you would be called today what they would consider a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. I was one of those dudes. Like and it's wild because because of the rapping, I hung out with the third. I was part of the third early in high school.
Shout out to the third.
Yeah, shout out to the third.
Yeah.
So like those were the cats that I hung out with outside of school, but at my school, I ain't hang out with nobody outside of school. I knew everybody, but
it's like once the bell rung, you out.
Yeah, I was out.
Unless you got check meet or something.
Yep. Even my best friend, I think I went to his house maybe once. You know what I'm saying? Like we never hung out. Yeah, like my best friend, we never really hung out outside of school except for because he rapped too. So when we go over Rashad's to record, here and there, like we would see each other outside of school. But outside of that, I think we went to each other's house maybe once or twice.
God damn! So you was really a hermit.
Yeah, straight up.
That's crazy. So your real life actually does translate to your music.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't consider it loner music, but it's like your old world.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Boom. So, family dynamic, brothers, sisters, only kid.
I'm the oldest of 4, so I have three younger brothers.
So they once they got bigger, they got their lid back. He's picking on.
They all bigger than me too. They all bigger than me.
Shout out to the bros. Like, we ain't so small no more. Get them. Yeah. Now the younger brothers, are they also creative writers, music or anything?
Not really. Like one of my brothers, he can sing pretty well.
Okay.
But not really on the creative side of things. Like they were more in the sports. You know what I'm saying? Like playing sports, playing football. One of my brothers played tennis. He actually had a tennis scholarship.
Get out of here.
To I think it was Wilberforce, I want to say.
That's where I went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did sports. My younger brother, he played baseball and football. So they were more into the sports.
With the sports.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were kind of like the anomaly with the
I was
music
the weirdo.
Yeah, right. They say the weirdo.
Yeah.
So mom, dad, no one's musically inclined.
Nah. Wow. My mom sings and writes songs and stuff. Okay. But never took it serious. She would do it for the church. Like she ran like the nursery and for kids, and she would write children's songs for the church and stuff like that. But outside of that, my grandmother could sing. She was a minister.
Oh wow.
And she would sing. But nobody really took it seriously like that.
Got you. Okay. All right. So take me to the point, because we slow walking them now. We slow roasting them. We walking through the story, walking through the journey.
Right.
This is good. Okay. So you're young kid. You're doing your track thing. You're in school. You got this gift with the writing and philosophy and all that stuff. Kind of a loner. But you're in the crowd with the rapping with the third. No, we're gonna get into them how you guys meet up. So take me to the point where you find that you have this skill of like transitioning from the poetry to when did you discover hip hop? Like when did that hit you?
I'm about 8 or 9 years old. So that would be like 89.
89, okay. So you're about 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, first thing I remember actually, I was in Jersey at my grandmother's house. My stepfather, my father, he's from Jersey. So we were in Jersey. Yeah, shout out Jersey.
My neck of the woods. Right across the bridge.
Yeah,
Patterson, New Jersey. Okay, yeah. 30 minutes away from Philly.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, yeah.
So I was at her house, and I remember the box was on. And I saw MC Light video, and I forget exactly which one. I believe it was Cha Cha Cha, if I'm not mistaken. And instantly fell in love with rap.
That's your first memory.
That's my first memory of hip hop. That's my first memory.
Like cha
cha.
Wow.
And the video kept coming, like the video, you know, how the box was. I don't know if you
pay.
you pay. And
I want to see this video.
Yeah, see the video again. And so I was just seeing, and I kind of learned it, and then I kind of realized, like, oh, you can do this with words too. So I wrote my first rap when I was 9 years old.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and ever since then, I've been doing it.
Crazy. Like, was it like sequenced like a rap, or was it still had like a little poetry influence?
It was still like a poetry influence, but because I played instruments too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you knew count.
You know, I kind of knew count, and you know, my mom had me doing drums, and my mom had me doing all kind of, you know, whatever stuck. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "You gonna do something, so we gonna put you in all these, you know, because you ain't gonna be out here with these knuckleheads doing nothing crazy."
Smart.
So
keep them busy.
Yeah, she kept me busy. So whatever I showed interest in, you know, she kind of fed it, and you know, if it worked out, it worked out. So I never really played drums, but I started to learn, you know, music stuff and all that stuff. Learn how to count bars and, you know, all that kind of thing. And so, yeah, I kind of understood structure a little bit when I was younger. So, you know, my first rap was, you know, it was a little poetry, but it was still kind of structured bar-wise. And it was like, I think it was like 8 bars or something. I don't remember. It wasn't a full 16. I ain't really, you know, understand that portion of the structure of rhyming yet. But, you know, just figured I could try to do what she was doing. You know what I mean?
You pulled it off.
And, you know, I remember like my first one, I was like kind of happy with it. So I kind of kept
You felt good about it?
Yeah, it felt good about it. So I kind of kept doing it, you know?
Yeah. What'd you write it on? Like, was it just a traditional?
Just a traditional like little book. Yeah, little pad.
Yeah. Wow. Then when you like, let me ask you this, because like when you hear stories about like when someone's that young, like right around 9 years old, it's like, what are you rapping about?
I have no idea. I don't remember. Well,
because I'm assuming it's probably braggadocious. Like,
yeah, it was like I'm the best. You know, I'm the coolest. You know, I mean, it was cha cha cha. So you know, that was my first influence. So that's, you know, kicking cha 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 to this. I'm the dopest female that you heard thus far. You know what I mean? Like,
so you just replicated that.
So I kind of bit her style a little bit, of course. You know, because that was all I knew. You know what I mean? And just, you know, probably just talking shit about myself.
Of course.
You know how cool I was.
Right. You know. Did you share this first round with anyone? Did you go back to Columbus like, yo,
nah,
gather around, motherfuckers?
Nah, I was 9 years old, so I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, who I'm gonna show it to?
You just folded the paper up and kept it to yourself?
Yeah, just knew I had it, you know, and then it was something I was super interested in, so I kept doing it. And as I got older, and you know, MTV Raps, and you know what I'm saying, like BET, and you know, just seeing more hip hop.
Hip hop is exploding.
Yeah, hip hop is exploding at that point. So you know, then it just kind of, you know, I fell in love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Crazy. So you're this young kid. You find this impression with hip hop. 9 years old. Write your first little rhyme. As you're coming up, are you starting to notice that you're investing way more time in rapping than the other things that you were doing at that time? Like, did you start to see the separation? Like, I'm really investing a lot of time with trying to get better at this rapping thing.
No, I never
things started to fall.
I never paid attention to it that much. You know what I mean? Like, because as I got older, I knew that it was something I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And you know, I was heavy in the church at the time, so a lot of my earlier rhymes were gospel rhymes. The first performance I ever did was in church.
Get out of here.
You know, so a lot of my early rhymes were you know, gospel rhymes. So you know, I kind of gravitated towards that world, and you know, a lot of gospel rap, even at the time in early elementary and middle school. I was into a lot of that.
Wow.
So just not really paying attention to that part of it. It was just something I enjoyed, and because, you know, I spend a lot of time by myself anyway, you know what I mean? Like, while I'm by myself, or if I'm not reading, I'm writing. You know, if I'm not playing video games, I'm writing.
So this is like a pastime for you.
Yeah, it was just,
let me just write something.
Yeah, it was just something I was doing because, you know, I wasn't really looking at it as something like, oh, I'm gonna be a star one day. Or this is something that I'm actually gonna like try to do as a career. It was just something I enjoyed and something that I just did. You know, because it was fun.
Yes. Okay. Now take us to the point where you come across the third Rashad and them guys, because at this point now I'm assuming y'all guys are in the same age range.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Rashad is older.
Rashad a little older.
A little older.
Okay.
But Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken.
How'd you guys meet?
Well, it started out, I was part of, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to make sure I remember all this correctly.
He's going to be watching like, no,
that's not how it went. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe I was part of Opium Prodigy first. So Opium Prodigy was, because of where I lived, there was a dude that lived across the street from me. His name was Pest. And he was part of Opium Prodigy, which actually consists of early megahertz. So Kamuteo, Copyright, and a bunch of other cats, Jakai the Motor Mouth. And it was a crazy huge collective, almost, Wu-Tang like, where there was probably like 30, 40 dudes that, at any given time that could claim to be part of Opium Prodigy, like it was like that kind of crew. So Pest introduced me, to Copy and everybody. And being like 10, 12 years old, there was Groove Shack.
What's Groove Shack?
Groove Shack was a record store where they had an open mic, and it was actually showcased on our public access channel. So it was on TV. They had the open mic on TV, and I was like 12 years old. Like it was like 92.
So and I was like 92.
Yeah, so I was like 12 years old or so, and but it was like on a Friday night downtown, close to campus, and the only way I got my mom to take me is I told her that I could be on TV if she would take me. You know what I'm saying? And I could go do this rap thing. So she would drop me off by myself downtown. Like my mom trusted me, you know what I mean?
That's a lot of dudes.
And she would let me, she would let me go and, saw me on TV. So, like hanging out with those dudes. And then third was, kind of integrated in Opium Prodigy and knew all those dudes too. Yeah. So once I started going to Northland in high school, and that's where Rashad went. That's where a lot of those cats went. So when I moved up to Forest Park, that's where a lot of the third actually is from.
Gotcha.
So once I moved up there, we kind of connected, and it just kind of made sense, because I literally lived, in the same neighborhood.
Right. It's like, this is a normal connection. So yeah. So tell me, who consists of the third, the originals?
Well, the originals, there is me, Rashad, PA Flex, Dippa Dappa Dawn, who is no longer in the third. Let's see, what else was it? Early. Shakes, I believe, was early as well, or he might have came in later. Was Blacksmith earlier or later? See, it was so many of us that came in and out, because even Tage, like from Megahertz, he was part of the third at one point. Guess who was my best friend in high school? He was part of the third at one point. And actually, Co City, who is, PA's brother, he actually started rhyming later. He wasn't rhyming at first. PA was rhyming first, and he actually Coke came in and started rhyming later. So I don't remember the originals, but it was a lot of us that
in and out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So boom, here we are. It's early '90s. You guys are teenagers now. Like, okay, so y'all have this connection, you the third, and a conglomerate of other people just rapping. At this point, like, are you starting to think, okay, maybe this could be something?
Well, yeah, I mean, once I hooked up with third, Rashad had
taking it serious.
Yeah, because Rashad had the deal, you know what I mean, and we knew that, just that it was possible. You know what I'm saying?
Seeing
we knew that. Yeah, seeing what he did and having him as kind of our leader. And him having management and all this stuff, and having kind of a pipeline to the industry at the time. Like we knew it was something that was possible for us. You know what I mean? So it was something that I thought possibly I could end up doing, and started taking it a lot more seriously. We started doing shows, and really like having the high school world kind of on lock, what I mean? Doing shows with Megahertz, doing shows like
hood famous.
Basically, because when we
that be rapping,
right, when we would do shows like high schools, it was a high school event. You know what I'm saying? Like
big thing.
Yeah, it was a big thing. So like we would pack out shows like as high school kids because all our all our high school fam would come out, and we did stuff for like when they'd have what do you call them before the pep ralies and stuff, like doing rapping stuff during those times, and having battles and stuff like in high school. Because at college, like I ran battles and stuff, like it was so many things that we were doing that kept our names kind of ringing throughout the high schools. That we were pretty popular, man.
Yeah, what a time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? Because hip hop and being an artist, it's a very competitive field and industry as far as a genre when you're amongst other rhymers and guys who are cut from that cloth. Shout out to show Cloth Talk. All the people on this show who are cut from a different cloth get to be on here. Hence the name Cloth Talk Podcast. All right. But what I wanted to ask you, when did you know, like, that you had like the confidence to know that I can hang with these guys? Like, I don't feel like I don't belong here. Like, I feel like I belong here. Because as I'm hearing you speak, like at that time when you guys are cutting your teeth, like everybody is a shark.
Yeah.
Like, for you, when did it, like, you felt like, okay, yeah, I belong here?
I mean, when I was, really young, 12, 13, going up to Groove Shack and being able to get on the mic.
Right there.
Like, it was difficult for one to even get on the mic. You know what I mean? Like, you had to kind of know somebody because
everybody can just go up there.
Yeah, there was some bullies up there that wouldn't let. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was some cats up there that would not let you. Yeah. And if you got on the mic that one time, you better show skill or you ain't getting back on. You know what I mean? So, I got to actually get up there and get on the mic, and I got props especially at being so young. Because I was always the young buck, you know what I'm saying, in most of the crews that I was in. Even when I got in Waitlist, I was always the young dude. Whenever,
everybody looking at each other, what's this young kid gonna say?
Right. So me getting on the mic and being that young, and rapping like I was rapping, because I was very different, using a lot of vocabulary was off the chain when I was young. Even then,
what we hear now,
I was
very
different.
Wordy.
Yeah, very wordy, very different, using different kind of similes and metaphors that people hadn't heard, and doing things like that. So it was very different, and because I was very different and I was young, I kind of got brought into the fold. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got introduced to the people who were the people. You know what I mean?
So you never struggled with the confidence thing?
Never struggled with the confidence. Never had any issues with confidence. Like, I kind of, my mom always made sure that I knew that I was just as good as anybody else, because when I was super young, 2 years old, I had cancer in my right eye.
Oh wow!
So I got my eye removed as a young kid. So my right eye is a prosthetic. And growing up,
I would not have known that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Growing up, I used to get teased and dealt with bullying and all that stuff. So mom really was heavy on getting the confidence up.
That makes sense
as a kid. So once I got to late elementary, middle school, and I was good at track, I was good at all of the things that I tried. Yeah. So I had no issue with confidence at all.
That makes sense, because all the extracurricular activity that you did, you already had to have confidence to do that, in a self-assuredness to yourself. So all that did was just translate to rapping.
Yeah, they just translate. Yeah,
you're like, I'm already confident.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense, because when I have a lot of artists on here, and a lot of times when I ask them that in their early formative years, getting better and cutting their teeth and doing more shows, learning how to record and shit like that, they was like, I was scared like a motherfucker. Like, I had to build confidence to even enunciate, like to get the shit out, to write, like to even like share some of my first rhyme. Like, yo, what you think of this? Like, a lot of them say like the confidence I had to learn how to get there. Yeah. So that's interesting to hear, like, this 12-year-old kid.
Yeah,
like, get me on the mic.
Yeah, just give me. I just wanted a chance. I just wanted a chance.
I got the goods.
I got the goods. Yeah.
Okay. Boom. All right. I'm asking you one more question. Then we're gonna go to a break. and play something. We don't want to play a song. We can let you pick the song or whatever, because we do play music here on the podcast. For all my independent artists out there watching and listening, y'all know I love to support all the independent artists here on the podcast. I play music during the breaks, man. So send your music to clothtalk5@gmail.com. clothtalk5@gmail.com. The number 5 at gmail.com, and it'll be in the link. Send your MP3 and your social media so I can tag you and show you love and all that shit. But before we go to break and play some music here, okay, because we're following the thread now. Boom. Okay, so you the third in a conglomerate of guys running rampant. Y'all hood famous now. Y'all got a name for yourself. Rashad got the deal. Child prodigy, like, yo, he did it. We follow his hotel. We got it. If he could do it, yo, we gotta keep going.
Yeah.
At this point, did you are you starting to release like your own like mixtapes or songs, or are you like working on a project of your own? Like, are you starting to like want to like separate yourself and like I want to like do my own thing here, or are you still like kind of like we're just mobbing as a group? We're just gonna stronger in numbers.
still group stuff. Okay. I didn't start doing anything solo until I got to college.
Really? Yeah. So that came way later.
Yeah, so that came after. Like originally, me and Rashad were a group together called Soul Cypher, just me and him. Oh. So that was the main thing that I was working on during the high school years.
Gotcha.
And there's actually only very few people actually have a copy of the tapes, but we have about 6 or 8 songs, that's kind of floating around. Only a special few, like Jay Rawls has a copy. I think O'Sharp probably got a copy. Maybe Prime might have a copy. Like, there's only certain groups of people that actually got a copy. But, some stuff floating around, you know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing I was working on during high school. I didn't start doing solo stuff until later.
Get out of here. Wow, interesting. All right, we're going to take a quick break, man. Hey, man, Illogic is here, man. We unpeeling the layers of the onion, man. We get to it. I want to play some of your music, man, for the people out there who aren't familiar with some of your music, your catalog, and your wordy rhyming, as we call it. What should we play for the people? Like, if there's someone who's watching for the first time, and you say, you know what would be a good introduction to Illogic and his music? Where would you direct them to? Man, where would you tell them to go?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Let's go to Unforeseen Shadows.
Year 2000.
Yeah, year 2000. Okay, and let's go.
Accompanied by Blueprint of Greenhouse Effect.
Yeah, let's go Blau.
Blau.
Featuring Lioness from Cincinnati.
Hey. Cincinnati. Okay. Blau, there we go. I found it. Okay, number 5 on the track. Woo! All right, before we play this music, we're going to play this. I want you to go ahead and plug your socials and everything, where people can connect with you or follow you. If people want to check out your podcast as well, you and your partner, go ahead and just plug away.
Yeah, Illogic 614 on all platforms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Illogic Music, and let's see, IamIllogic.com is my website. And we also have my podcast with Blueprint, Super Duty Tough Work, SuperDutyToughWork.com, Super Duty Tough Work TV.
Hey.
And also, let's see, Vibe Society, you know what I'm saying? We're probably going to talk about that, but
Absolutely.
Vibe Society TV on YouTube. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're a busy guy, man.
Yeah, I'm busy. Vibe Society 614 on Instagram.
There it is.
Yeah.
You involved in a lot. Man, we unpilling it, man. I told y'all it's going to be a good one. All right, this is Blau featuring Lioness out of Cincinnati off the first project. Hey, here we go. We'll be right back. Club Talk Podcast.
This cat'll be packing raps until the earth's gone. You flashy while I shine in threads of jet black and earth tones gleaming. You couldn't make it come up if your voice box with balls and words was seeming. My larynx is a text, so after I spit it's left steaming. Chicks screaming, bodies falling, eclipse lighter. C3, 60 degrees of dead MCs creates a soul cipher. I'm an elite soul sniper. Hit a moving spirit through a scope of lyrics till blood's gushing like a geyser. I don't know what you thought, yo, or if you thought, yo, cause after I talk, yo, you'll be playing Russian roulette with a crossbow. I control flows as the moon does the current. You're past and I'm the current. current sent through your body to burn it. Ill can get jig, gets waved the wig and flip the collar. Cause in a sense, my 6 cents in hell's the sense to make dollars. To take your chick, lay it down, get it down and get me up. Hit her now, then get a stuff. Cuff her now, then get a snuff. I'm so hot to say and touch me and his hands blistered up. Yet I stay cool. You stay hungry for skill and I stay full. I lick shots, my tongue's a spray tool to spray blocks. MC's a butt, so when I eat them, am I sauce and salad? I hope not. Spit a page on the same stage, you better hope not. Cause with the same range of a Glock cock, I'll blow spots and the show stops.
Now you take a step back. The logic's too ill, so disregard a counterattack. Retreat to your whole suggestion, you retrace your tracks. Must have dropped your plan straight, the strategy you lack. Now you take a step back. The logic's too ill, so disregard a counterattack. Retreat to your whole suggestion, you retrace your tracks. Must have dropped your plan straight, the strategy you lack.
Now I'm the one you need to run from. Cause this track's pound, I compound conundrums in lump sums. Sipping venomous serum, spit from syringes. You say word, I'll say noun. Splurge on sound, binge, then purge the ground. You lower than rat excrement. Who's ever next to spit, then next to split. Extracted life from kids, cause I'm an exorcist. Green liquidy, iniquity, inspired by Euripides. Engulfs my vocal cords and focus swords to swinging victory. Enter then exit, blended splinters and winners, camouflaged architecture. Abducted, constructed paragraphs can start to fester in cuts infected with what's, what ifs, and possibilities. As if I dip my fingertips in Novocaine. I'm not feeling these gingerbread men, bipedal beings of sugar excess. Talking sign language out the side of their necks. Colloquial gibberish, revoking your privileges. Cause there will be no more caramel on the backdrop of a chocolate existence. Melting asteroid belting the burnt out bioluminescence. Illuminate the psychoanalytic mind state to penetrate. Where life dies and politics are embraced. We're encased in evil. Hit you with grace as I gracious in face with lethal strokes of war paint and hospital blankets and sentence sentences in broken English and need a tourniquets. This verse at random turn this bitch to a buttery precious substance. Contents under pressure, combustion spontaneous. I'm changing this vocal melody to harmonic cacophony. Executing cats with Rasputin attacks of artistry. Knowledge is the key to sparking me, eating me up. You jacking me off in the elevator, the only way you'll be beating me up. You not an intellectual master of age. I'm
yeah, we back to the ground and it's confirmed that I'm weightless. Podcast. Illogic is here. Woo. That was Blah featuring Lioness. Oh man, he was giving me a little game, little gems about that project and that song behind the scenes while it was playing. That was in your college years, man.
Yeah.
And we just kind of make fun of a line in there. Let y'all guess which one it is. It got something to do with an elevator. Not to be confused with elevator music, by the way. Oh man, like. When you hear that stuff, like, what do you remember about that time? Like a young Illogic, just a hungry MC, like a book full of rhymes and shit. Like, man, what was that time like for you?
That time was like I really missed that time because now I'm a grandfather. And, you know what I mean? Got mad bills and you know what I mean? Like all kind of
responsibilities.
Right, responsibilities. I'm all grown. You know, trying to rush and be grown and shit. So, but I remember, you know, that's all I had to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like being carefree and actually being, you know, really focused on the rhyming and not having a whole bunch of responsibilities, not having a wife and not having kids and not having grandkids and not having, you know, bills and car payments and, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Because I actually listen to all of my records like in chronological order every New Year's.
Do you really?
Yeah. Like
wow.
Yeah. So whatever new I kind of go through my catalog and listen to all my music.
So you start all the way back?
Yeah. So I start from the beginning every year. So I kind of get to, you know, do those reflections every year. You know,
like, damn, I'm so young.
Right.
Full of energy.
Yeah. Full of energy. Full of, you know, piss and vinegar, as they say. You know.
Wow, so you missed that time.
Definitely.
Would you say like during that time, like was the most like fun that you had? Like, yeah. Like the early years in doing it, they definitely were like the funnest times. Like the first, you know, throughout the first maybe 5 to 10 years of doing the stuff seriously and putting records out and all that stuff. Like. Definitely was the most fun that I had doing music. Because again, like there was hardly no responsibility. I did have kids early, but you know, like I was still right. Like in the mode of, you know, trying to make it. You know what I mean? Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. So, you know, it was definitely fun times.
Yeah, man. Wow. Okay, so we cover your early formative years. Okay, so now we get to we left off. Rashad gets a deal, leaves off. You guys are still bound around as a collective, as a group, running rampant, tearing up the streets. So any because at that time, like I said, like you as an MC, you got to cut your teeth against other MCs. Any notable battles that took place during this time, battles, ciphers in the streets, or events that some names that we may know that you got in that ring when you had to spar. You had to let motherfucking know, like, it ain't sweet over here.
Not necessarily like face-to-face battles, but because of some misunderstandings and some things.
Some shit got laid down on wax.
Yes, some things got laid down on wax.
You took the first shot.
Honestly,
or return fire.
I don't even remember who took the first shot. Like it's all water under the bridge now.
You're passing.
All
passed. We talk about history. So
it's all
don't
history.
Get offended.
Yeah.
We're just.
But between me and the third, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
Once, yeah. So
that means a split happened.
Yeah, a split happened. Like once I kind of went off to college. And again, there was like some misunderstanding. Some things were said. It was thought I did some foul shit, which I don't remember if I did or not. You know what I'm saying? I might have, I might not have. I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. But
so they got offended.
Yeah, so it was just some things got said on record. You know what I mean? There might have been, I wasn't involved in it, but there might have been like a physical altercation that kind of almost happened between Weightless and some people, my crew, and I wasn't even there at the time.
Oh, this y'all took it there.
Yeah, it got serious for a little bit.
Damn, motherfuckers started going hands.
But it ended up getting squashed. Everything has been cool, for a long time. Like all of this has been squashed for years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Remember that, folks.
Yeah, but there was some things that got said on wax.
Wow, that's the third.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But that was the only cast I really ever.
Your own people.
Yeah. Sometimes it be your own people. Sometimes, we went at it on record back and forth.
Did it last a long time, or was it quick, like couple?
Well, it was a few songs, but then like we didn't talk for a long time. Yeah, it was.
Like we ain't fucking with y'all.
Cats wasn't.
Y'all stay over there.
Cats wasn't fucking with each other for a while. But after a while, it ended up getting squashed. Like we was too old. We got grown, and after a while, it was just like some dumb shit. Like we realized we realized it was some dumb shit. As we got older. But
yeah, that's crazy. Do you take like responsibility for what happened? Or do
you, I do.
You know what? That's that one.
As a grown up now, like whatever I did, you know what I'm saying. Whatever I said to offend and cause any issues, I do apologize for it. Honestly, like I said, I really don't remember exactly what, but from what I remember, they were mad at me for something that I did. And I could have did it, I don't remember. I think it might have been a misunderstanding, what I'm saying? But I don't.
You don't remember doing said thing.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why we got.
Oh no, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why it happened, but I remember it being placed. The blame was being placed at my feet, and I kind of was on some. I didn't understand why they were mad, so I thought it was because I had left and because I started doing solo stuff and because I thought that was why, but then later I found that it was something else.
Damn.
And you know what I mean? Like so
this whole time you thought it was that.
Yeah,
and it was like
it was so else. But this was like fucking 97. You know what I'm saying? Like this was
early 20s.
Yeah, this was like 20s, 20 some years ago. So I don't even remember exactly what the fuck it was, but it got, I think there were some performances, like there was a lot of some
pulling up at the performance, throwing hands.
Nah, there was some things that happened, but
you had to be serious, illogical. Goddamn.
Yeah, it was
throwing blows.
It got pretty crazy. And again, like when the blows happened, I wasn't even there.
You off in college?
Yeah, I was just not.
Oh, just not there.
Just not there at the time. Because I believe I believe it might have been at the Hip Hop Expo one year, and I had done one of my diss songs at the Expo. I performed it at the Expo.
What made you do that?
I mean, because like it was,
that wasn't going to fare well.
I just wanted to be the best, man. I was young and dumb. You know what I mean?
Show y'all motherfuckers something.
Yeah, it was just young and dumb, and I believe they performed that years too. Like it was just one of those things. We was just trying to be the best rappers and talk shit and be just young and dumb
hip-hop
shit.
Is competitive.
Just hip hop, just hip hop stuff. Yeah. And after the physical shit happened, I think that was when it was like, okay. Like we're doing too much. We doing way too much.
Oh shit.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Like when you think about that, like because oftentimes you hear like when it comes to like a movement of like rappers and MCs and everyone strong can hold their own on the mic. Mm-hmm. Like that's a force to be reckoned with. And then when you hear something like that happens, like do you think of like what if? Like the what ifs like damn.
Yeah, like I always think about what if we could have, continued to be, because even if you listen to Unforeseen Shadows, there are like songs where I shout them out on the record. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was listening to that
because Blacksmith is on the album.
I was just about to go there. Like there is I forget the name of the song, but there is a song you just shouting out everybody.
Yeah.
At the end of the song, just
shouting out everybody.
It's like 2 minutes long of you just everybody.
Out, just everybody in Columbus. Yeah.
Right, you're right. Damn, they're just like, okay, I'm like, he's just naming every single person. Mm-hmm. So like, but you do think about like the what ifs, like man, like, what if we like could have that bullshit never happened? Like, and we stayed focused.
Yeah, never know. You know what? Because I wasn't looking at the time. I wasn't looking to leave the group. I just happened to be off at college. Just happened to hook up with
that way, though.
Yeah, it just happened to hook up with Blueprint. Because Blacksmith actually went to the University of Cincinnati too. So he was part of Third, and that's how he was on the record and everything. So I just happened to be in a place where I had a producer that wanted to work with me, and we ended up doing enough songs to put a record out. And
then looks away.
Yeah, then it the bullshit happened, and I ended up being part of Waitlist, and that's how Waitlist kind of formed around a lot of this, a lot of this stuff that was happening.
I see.
So, and we just kept it moving.
Damn! Wow! Like at that time, like was you in contact with anybody?
Not really. Like I was, again, the only person I was really in contact with was Blacksmith, and then the kind of fallout happened while I was at college, and then coming home, that's when all the bullshit started happening. Yeah. So I wasn't really in contact with a lot of people, while I was gone, but
damn,
it just sucks that it kind of rolled away. Route. But I mean, I guess it needed to go that way for things to be where they are, because maybe if things didn't turn out that way, I wouldn't have the catalog that I have. I wouldn't have met the people that I met. You know what I mean? So, take the good with the bad. You know what I
mean? Yeah, that is a good perspective to look at it. But it is like always that's how like the what if, like damn, what if we because like as far as like I know, like y'all was the only ones.
Yeah.
Like y'all are literally like the ones who like spearheaded like developing the culture of hip hop in this city of Columbus. Like there was like people before y'all, of course.
Yeah.
But like y'all took it and like really was like okay, like making a name for yourselves and like making people like look at like, oh, there's motherfuckers rhyming in Columbus.
Yeah, there. I mean,
like y'all was the guys.
Yeah, there was because before us there was Spirit and those cats that we kind of modeled our stuff after, and then Columbus had also Megahertz. They were like the first ones to get a deal as a rap group outside of Columbus.
So Megahertz was first.
Yeah, Megahertz was the first ones to really like bring a lot of that attention, you know what I'm saying?
Like, oh shit.
And and we were connected to them, and then then as I got older and went to college, then when I released my record, it was critically acclaimed, and I got what I'm saying. So Columbus, we really were all kind of part of bringing the eyes, you know what I'm saying, to the city.
That's what I was saying. It's like y'all were the guys, and then the dumb shit happens, and it's like, we had the momentum.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? Because, and I want to see if you agree with this, and we're going to get back on track with your story and everything, and all like the catalog and stuff. But I had Fonz on the show. He's a promoter out here, in Columbus, from Columbus. And he's been doing this thing for 30 plus years, and I asked him. Because we was actually at the Columbus Hip Hop Legends show. It was a benefit show for AU after his accident and everything, and he was doing it like in holding a thing for him. And I was out there with the camera, had the microphone. I'm like running up to people and artists and stuff, just kind of like getting interviews and content while the show was going on. And I asked him, I was like, like what's missing in Columbus as far as like the music scene? In your opinion, and he's like, "You want to be honest, or you want me to give you a political correct?" I was like, "Be honest, brother." So he said, "What's missing is Columbus doesn't have an identity." He said, "I'm gonna ask you." He said, "You tell me what the Columbus sound is," and I couldn't do it. He's like, "We don't have anything that you can point to in this city that an artist that you would point to say that's Columbus." He said, "We don't have a sound. We don't have an identity. We sound like everybody else." And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And every single artist that I've had on here and asked since has not disagreed with what he said.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't disagree either.
I was like, wow.
But I think there's a different reason, though. Okay. Like, I think the fact that we don't have one particular sound is our strength. I think the thing that's missing is that there is not a centralized location where we all interact. Because one of the things that was cool about the early years is that we had a place like Bernie's. And I'm sure you've heard about Bernie's.
Yes.
Bernie's was a centralized location where it didn't matter what kind of hip hop you did, everybody came to Bernie's. Whether you did trap, whether you did horrorcore, whether you did boom bap, whether you did, jiggy rap, no matter what kind of hip hop you did, everybody got to be at Bernie's.
We're going to stay on Bernie's. But so where was Bernie's located?
Bernie's was located in the basement of a bagel shop on High Street. It was Bernie's Bagels. Yeah. And it was like this little shitty dive bar, where Phono Sluts, shout out Prism, DJ Prism. Let's see, Prism, Pos 2, and Low Zone. And they kind of started this hip hop night at Bernie's, and it was every Sunday. And that started to be like the centralized location where everybody would come. It was the central hip hop hub.
Everyone's cutting their teeth there.
Everybody, no matter what kind of shit that you did, everybody went to Bernie's. And there was a centralized figure who was DJ Prism. DJ Prism had the Phono Slut Mansion, which is like, it was, and it moved around, but it was like literally everybody who was anybody went through Prisms and recorded over Prism production.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. And again, no matter what type of rap you did, Prism welcomed you to come and record and hang out. So we all had, like, he was kind of a person that brought people together.
Yeah.
And once he passed away, we kind of lost that. And now everything is so splintered that there's no one, there's no centralized figure that brings people together in that fashion.
I see.
J. Rawls is the closest thing that we probably have now that, kind of brings people, that's a cool person that everybody loves, that kind of brings people, together, and, you're able to be in the same rooms with certain people that you normally wouldn't be. But I think that's more of the issue with us not being able to really like come together and sprout, the talent, because that was the time when we were really bubbling, when Columbus was really like on the map with the megahertz, with us, with Spitball, which was DJ Prism's group. That was the time when things were really, really, really popping. And You know, and there was also, you know, Columbus Mob and, you know, all those groups were still like doing stuff, and everybody came through Bernie's. So, right. Everybody kind of knew each other, even if you weren't like close friends. Yeah. You know, but everybody kind of brushed shoulders, you know, in one centralized location. And I think that that's kind of missing, and there's not someone who is, you know, a person that everybody is cool with that kind of brings people together in that fashion. So I think that's more of the issue than anything else. I don't think, you know, us having a sound is that important because we are all so different. You know, there's just like, you know, you're not from here. Columbus is a melting pot of people from all over the place. DJ Prism was from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that have come here from California, come here from the South, come here from everywhere. So the fact that we don't have a sound, again, I think is something that makes us strong and makes us unique, because we all kind of feed off of the fact that we like what we like. You know, and we sound how we sound, and you can get any type of music that you want, whether it's hip hop, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's psych rock, whether it's country, whether it's folk, you know what I'm saying? Like R&B, it's all here. Yeah, it's all here because everybody comes from everywhere. So I think it's our strength, and I don't think that that's the reason. You know, I don't think that's a weakness that we have.
I see. So you actually see it as a strength rather than a knock on the city of Columbus. That's a good take to have on it. Okay. I haven't heard that perspective yet. That is a good way to look at it, because if you do have more diversity, you can get stronger in all those areas.
Exactly.
Which puts more eyeballs
exactly
on, rather than being strong in one area. And it's like, okay, like,
that's all you're known for. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, like, you have somewhere like, you know, like Atlanta, for example, they're known for trap. And that's, you know what I'm saying?
We go there for the trap.
Yeah, we go there for the trap. And that's, and I mean, but then you have the outliers, you know what I'm saying? Like a Andre, like a, you know, Killer Mike, like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are the outliers that come from those areas, but it's known for trap. That's what it's known for. You know what I mean?
We turn it up tonight.
That's what it's known for. Or, you know, New York is known for the street rap. You know what I'm saying?
Give you that boom bap.
LA is known for gangster rap. You know what I mean? But then you have Oakland, where you have Souls of Mischief, and you have Project Blowed, and you have, you know what I mean? So
I see where you're going.
Yeah, so, you know, Columbus is more of a, you know, like a Chicago, for example. But Chicago kind of has a sound, but it doesn't have a sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Ye made certain types of music, but everybody didn't sound like him.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, there was a diversity of sound that came out of somewhere like Chicago. There is a diversity that comes out of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the Midwest cities don't necessarily have a sound, because a lot of people diverge on those cities from other places and cultivate, because we all mix together and homogenize and create different things.
Yeah, because you're right. Because, like, now think about it. If we look at Cleveland, if you look at Detroit, if you look at Chicago, if you look at Cincinnati and Columbus, like all the Midwest states and cities, if you try to pinpoint what they're known for or what the sound is or what the culture is, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Because you can't point to nothing.
Right, exactly.
But like you say, like, outside of that, you can point to the culture in Atlanta, in the South. You can point to the culture on the East Coast.
Yeah,
you can
Memphis and Texas. Yeah, you know?
You can just identifiable things that you can automatically, like, oh yeah, that's from there.
Yeah.
Or that's from there. Oh, you wear Timbs, you're from we know where you from. You wear Timbs in the summer, we know where you from.
Right.
Like, oh, your grandma make peach cobbler, we know where you from. Okay, you're right. But you see that as a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
While others will look at, like, we ain't known for shit, man. Like, we gotta find out what our shit is. But you're like, no, we don't. Like, let's not harp on that.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, let's embrace that, actually.
Right, because we have so many people that are so strong in so many areas. You know what I mean? Like, we have producers that can make all kind of stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All of our producers, like, there's people that specialize, but then most of our producers are so versatile in the kind of stuff that they make. True. I mean, you know, they can do whatever and make whatever, and it's all banging. And then we have rappers or artists that specialize in certain things. Yes. But there's not like something specific, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it creates a world where no matter what you like, you can find something from Columbus that you will like.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think that's dope.
I like that. Okay, so swinging back to your career, your story as an artist and MC. So for you as you're growing into your own now, you go off, release your first project in 2000. Who, like, during that time, like, who are some of your influences, like, that you were kind of like, I guess, like, some of your favorite artists you were probably listening to? Like, I know I was, like, kind of, like, making fun of, like, this is Pharaoh Monch, goddamn, like, this is their Pharaoh Monch. And he was like, that's actually an influence. I was listening to Pharaoh. I was like, I knew it. Yeah. But along those lines, like, who are some of your favorites?
Common.
Common, okay, yeah.
Rakim, KRS.
Yep.
Grand Puba, Jungle Brothers, and the funny thing, like, I listened to a lot of, Tribe and, a lot of the, LONS, definitely. But, when I was younger in like 93, 95, 96, I was discovering a lot of the West Coast stuff. So I was listening to Project Blowed and, To Whom It May Concern, listening to AC Alone, So it was definitely like a mixture of, but I still listen to, Snoop. I still listen to Nas and Jay and, so it was a mixture of kind of the underground and the overground stuff that really kind of made me the MC that I've become, and there's also all the middle ground, stuff like the Common Senses, like the Delta Funky Homo Sapien, you know what I mean? Like, all of that stuff kind of really influenced the way that I played with words, because everybody had their own little thing. Yeah. Everybody did things a little differently. And it kind of gave me the okay, to be weird. You know what I mean? Because
like, oh, there's others like me.
Yeah, like there was so many different places where you could find so many pockets that people were rhyming in. So many, especially listening to Project Blowed and listening to AC Alone and Micah 9 and Self Jupiter and those dudes from that world. Like, so you don't have to always rhyme, 4 bar. Like there's, and then Souls of Mischief really like blew the gates wide open for me. And Black Thought, of course, the Roots, and what I'm saying, like there's so many to name. You know what I mean? There's because I was really a student of the game.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I really like watched and kind of took a little piece of every little thing that I could find and really seeing how it could help me. Whether it was learning how to write hooks, listening to Snoop. You know what I mean? Or just understanding metaphors a little better, listening to Common and Black Thought. You know what I mean? Like or it's just style wise listening to, the West Coast cats and AC Alone and, those dudes and, Abstract Rude and, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of took a little bit of all of that and really developed kind of who I wanted to be as an MC.
Yeah, man. Like, you have a song where you're battling yourself.
Yeah.
You're battling like your alter ego.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, who you think you is? You think you me? I'm the real Illogic. Hey, man, throw the beat on and y'all start going. I'm like, yo, this shit is amazing. I'm like, he's battling himself on the same track. And you're like, literally, I'm curious about the behind the scenes creation about what made you think of that? Like, you know what? I'm going to write a song where I'm battling my alter ego myself. Like, are you like writing, okay, I'm going to care about myself like this, then I'm going to come back. Like, how?
Yeah, I mean, that was from the Unforeseen Shadows days, and it was just one of those times when I was young and just full of
weed,
just ego, it was a lot of weed. I smoked a lot of weed in college.
A
lot of weed. Yeah, once I got to college, like the weed, the floodgates were open. Smoking, with smoking a lot of weed.
A lot
of weed.
You're going through 3 L's a day, or like 20 minutes.
Probably more than that.
Damn,
man, I was smoking a lot.
Jesus.
Because I also I had to hook up because homies of mine was growing. You know what I mean? So, always had some
readily available.
Yeah, it was readily available.
So
always
yeah,
had it.
So
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the creation of that song. So are you like sitting down, the beat is playing, you're like, I got it. I know what I'm gonna do. Like, was it a concept?
Honestly, I don't even remember, bro. I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
I'm like, what man? I'm asking about this. I'm like, this man wrote a song.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Himself.
It was some ego shit. You know,
like I'm so nice, no one can see me but me.
Right, exactly. That's pretty much the idea. Like it was just on some ego shit. I'm that nice that the only person that will ever try to battle me is me. So let me get this shit out the way. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, that's some like creative ass writing. I was like, wow, this man really wrote a song about himself because he's that nice. Like no one else can fuck with me. So
yeah.
The only person left is I gotta do myself. Like you
yeah.
know? Wow, crazy. Okay, there's also another song I wanted to ask you about in your catalog. I think it's like one of the most recent ones. I think of yours. I'm kind of bouncing around, but I wanted to ask you about this song. You low key, well not low key, like you name your city and everything. You dish your city.
When? Which one?
You're like in I forget what's like your talk is like you not dish your city, but you kind of like making a mockery of your city. Like you make a club song making a mockery of club songs.
Oh yeah, well it's not necessarily the city. It was definitely like the club song atmosphere.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I think it was. I Know You Want to Dance.
Yeah, I know you want to dance.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily Columbus as a whole.
Like you're literally making them dance to a song that you're making a mockery of.
Yeah, it was a mockery of club songs because I really hate club songs. And like clubs that like songs that were especially
now you're about to lose all your fans.
Especially during
oh hell fuck with the club shit. Let's turn this shit off.
No, it was funny because the type of like if you listen to the song like the type of beat that it was it was early. It was like in the early 2000s where like all the songs like had every album had this like obvious club banger. You know what I'm saying? It was like this obvious beat style and
it's like a template.
Yeah, like a template kind of thing.
This is on year 8076.
8076, produced by Walter Rocktight. And it was so it wasn't necessarily a dig at Columbus. It was a dig at the club in general.
I was like, I was like, shit, he's talking about Columbus.
Nah, it was just the club. Yeah.
So this was intentional.
Yeah, it was very intentional.
Okay, you like, I need to do this.
Very intentional.
So you like in your personal taste, you really dislike the club shit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of. Like I understand it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? Like I understand it, and I understand the club has its place.
Yeah.
But and now that I'm older, I appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah.
Like when I did that record, I was fucking young. I was like 23.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like this was early 2000s. I was just a hardcore, boom bap, like boom bap or nothing, kind of shit. But now I understand the club shit, and I understand that especially in the early days of hip hop before it got super commercialized.
Yeah.
If the shit didn't work in the club, you wasn't getting no fucking shine. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the club was different. You know what I'm saying? Because they played shit like the King of Rock in the club. You know what I mean? So it was very different from the shiny suits and the that world is when that shit started changing. That's when I started to hate the club music. But everything fucking has its place now. Hip hop is so fucking wide open. There's room for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't hate any type of music necessarily. It's stuff that I don't fuck with.
Right.
Stuff that I don't listen to.
Yeah.
But to each their own. Listen to what you want to listen to.
There
What I'm saying?
Okay, no knock to those people.
Yeah, I create my algorithm. How I create my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You create yours how you want to create yours.
Right. As an artist, let me ask you this because and I'm glad I got you here for these type of questions. For a person who's in the industry for as long as you, man, would you say most artists are sensitive about their shit?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I've had every. It fascinates me because I'm not a music artist or anything, but I don't think I've had any artist that I was sat down and done an interview with that had them on this pod where they said, no, I'm not sensitive at all. Like, they all say, hell yeah, I'm sensitive about my shit.
Because
but it blows my mind because it's such a, like, you know?
But the wild thing about being an artist is that we share ourselves with everyone.
Yes.
But that's, you know, for most of us that take this shit seriously, that's us on the paper. Like, we're putting, that's blood, sweat, and tears on that paper.
I'm giving you me.
Yeah, I'm giving you me, my experience, my life, my joys, my pains, my triumphs, my tragedies, all of that shit.
I'm sharing myself with you.
Yeah, like, I'm giving you a piece of me, and for you to tell me that I'm whack, I might punch you in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and that's like, to my face, you know, like, a lot of people say, like, yo, I don't care what people, yes, you do. We care.
They lying.
Yeah, they lying. We care what people think. Now, you know, how we deal with it is, you know, to each their own. But, like, on some real, and also I understand that my music ain't for everybody too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it does hurt when people don't like your shit. It does hurt when, you know, people from your own city won't fuck with your shit, but people over here in California fuck with your shit. It does make you feel a certain type of way. So for anyone that would say, nah, I don't really care, then you ain't serious. Then it's not you. Then it's not really a part of you. If you really don't give a fuck what people think, if you're not serious about what you write down on that paper, then it ain't really a part of you. It's not really something you live in. If you really don't care, you can't not care.
Yeah,
you know, if it's really you on that paper, you can't not care.
I see what you're saying. So
you know,
what you're breaking down and is becoming clear to me. You're saying this is how we know how to separate the person who really do this shit and the person who's fabricating shit.
Right?
Because if you care enough about what you're doing in your craft, that shit is going to mean something to you.
Yeah, it's going to mean something.
But if I'm this guy over here and I'm not
just trying to get a check.
Yeah, I don't. There's no connect to me with
right.
with this art form.
Yeah,
I could give a fuck less if I'm here today or here tomorrow.
Right,
but
exactly.
You like, I care. Like, I want people to.
Yeah, like I've been like I said, I've been writing rap since I was 9 years old. And there's songs throughout my catalog that, like, I had to write in order to get past certain things in my life. You know, like, for me, writing is a therapeutic process. It's not just an activity that I do for fun.
Right,
like, it's something that I use to actually get through life and stay sane.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And a lot of us are like that. A lot of people, you know, which is why I think a lot of people really connected with artists like Pac and Biggie, because the shit that they wrote, they was spilling that shit from the heart to the paper, and it was, you know, you could hear the pain in some of those songs. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is serious. This shit is serious. So, you know, for anybody that says, "Oh, you know, this shit ain't nothing," you just trying to collect a check. And some of these cats are out here making a lot of money,
making a big bag.
Yeah, a lot of them making a big bag. You know,
so it seems like not giving a fuck pays.
It can, you know what I'm saying? To some people, it does pay, but to cats that really care about the craft and really, you know, really bleed for this shit, like, there's no fucking way that you can tell me that you're not sensitive about your music. There's no way.
This is what we understand the term. There's levels to this.
Yeah, there's definitely different levels to this shit. Because you had you know, if you interview anybody that you've interviewed, if they say, like, nah, man, you know, it's just raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that.
We know where to place you.
right. We know where you go in the you know, pantheon of shit. You know.
Right. And it seems like there's a lot of pride to be able to hold your sword and claim I'm one of them. I'm a soldier. I'm a warrior.
Oh, hell yeah.
I wave this flag proudly. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid to. I will never put this flag down.
Right.
Holding this shit high.
Yeah.
Proudly.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good. That's good. Because it's always cool to hear that, interesting for me to hear that, because, like, I'll be able, like, as a listener of rap, like, it's cool to be able to, like, coexist in an artist's world,
right?
Who, like as you said, give a fuck. Because, like, when I listen, like, I want to feel connected to the music,
right?
Like, I need it to touch me in some form, some shape or way. Like, and when I listen to your music and a host of others, like, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm drawn in. I'm like, I want more. Yeah. it makes me desire it more. So okay, have you ever had? Let me ask you this right. Have you ever had any moments where you say, you know what, man, fuck this rap shit, I'm done.
Oh yeah,
y'all can have it. Y'all can have this rap shit. I'm out. I'm done. Fuck it.
Yeah. Many times.
More than one times. You had your phone like, fuck this rap shit. Y'all got it. Y'all can have it.
But because of, like I said, like it's a part of me. It's something that I need. Like it's just as important as breathing to me. As much as, you know, there's always times that I've been like, I'm gonna retire. Right. You know, I'm not doing this anymore. You know, I can't. I can't not do it anymore. Like even if I'm never putting out music again, I'll always make it. You know what I'm saying? If there's ever a time, like I think I'll be 80 years old still writing raps. You know what I'm saying? So? I it's part of me. I can't not do it.
Really?
I can't not do it.
What's the longest you went without ever creating, writing a rap or making a beat or something? The longest that you put it down for? Nothing. I'm talking about like not going to the studio, not pulling out the pad, not even thinking of a line.
See, never, because as an artist, I'm always writing. Whether I'm writing it down or not is a different conversation. But as an artist, I always see something that might trigger something, that might trigger a bar, and I might forget the bar. But I'm always writing, and that's the key. That's the key to never dealing with, you know, writer's block. Because if your writer's right, so I'm always writing. Something that I'm watching on TV can trigger a line. Something that I'm, you know, seeing when I walk down the street can trigger a phrase or a bar. Damn. You know, watching a commercial can make me think like, oh, that'd be dope to sample. Like there's I'm always in a creative space just because it's part of me. It's ingrained. Damn. So there's never a time. Now, as far as writing something down,
okay, let's say like actively,
actively writing something down.
What's the longest you went without?
Probably maybe 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm married. I got kids. You know what I mean? Like, I got a real job. You know what I mean?
Right. This ain't college no more.
This ain't college no more. So, you know, there's times that, you know, life gets busy and life is life and
can't get to it.
And I just don't have the time, or I don't have the energy, or even, you know, the want to, because I'm so bogged down with life. You know, there was recently, probably the last maybe 2 years ago, where my life was just so crazy and hectic that I had so much to write about but couldn't write. I couldn't, even when I sat down to try to write, I couldn't find the words to put together to explain the shit that was in my head and that was going on in my life to actually write until recently.
Wow.
And it'll all be explained on my next record. But
exclusive. We're gonna come back, we're gonna talk about that. I love when I get exclusives. Oh, the return.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was probably the longest period of time that you went without actively writing in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And really probably longer, like this, that year of my life, because, you know, there was a lot that went on, like, you know, wifey got cancer, and, you know, dealing with that, and, you know, it was a lot of shit that was going on in my life for like about a good year and a half. So, you know, I was still writing here and there, but for the most part, I had so much shit going on that I know I needed to write about in order to kind of get the weight off of me, because that's kind of how, you know, like prayer wasn't working like it should have, you know, and a lot of that is my meditative time when I write, and it gets a lot of the weight off of me. You know, a lot of the shit that I go through, I channel it through my pen, and that's kind of the therapy. I mean, I went to therapy. I was doing a lot of shit, and even talking to my therapist about why I couldn't write. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it was a serious thing for a while. And, you know, I just kind of got delivered out of it, you know, in the last year or so. Yeah.
Man, like, wow. Music and writing is like you explained, it's like you need it.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy how deep that shit is.
Yeah, it's real.
For artists, like, damn, like I have to get this out.
right. I'm
about to go crazy,
or else I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Like it just blows my mind, like how an art form can is literally a part of like someone that deeply to like, yo, I gotta take the therapy, man.
Yeah.
We gotta.
I mean, why
I need another outlet.
Why you think these artists, like, you know, cats are still touring when they're 80, 90 years old? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's to make money, but a lot of them don't necessarily need the money. You know what I'm saying? You look at Rolling Stones, they don't need the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got plenty of it.
Yeah, like, you know, like Sting don't need the money.
He's not doing this because he's broke.
He's not doing it because he broke. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that Jay-Z ain't putting out a record. He don't need the money.
Right.
But he's doing these shows because he need to get out there. He needs to feed that thing. You know what I mean? And you know, it's coming up on anniversaries and all that. And I'm sure he's gonna make a hell of a lot of money, but he don't need it. He's doing it because he needs to feed that thing. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna put out anything new, but I'm gonna go out and perform these songs because I need that fix. I need that fix. You know what I mean?
Damn. Wow. So what you're telling me is never believe an artist when they say they're going to retire.
Exactly.
Never believe them.
Never believe them because no matter what,
I'm done with this rap shit. I'm done. I done said it all.
No matter what, they still writing. They still doing stuff
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, they still like if you ever like watch any of these documentaries with, you know, cats that been out of the game that haven't been doing it. Usually, where's the interview? In their studio. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers ain't put out a song in 20 years.
They in the studio.
But they in the studio.
Who we kidding?
Their home studio. In their basement. With all this equipment around them. They ain't put out a record in 20 years. What you think they doing? They still doing that shit.
JBLs.
Exactly. They still doing that shit.
Wow. So Dre got a gang of shit.
Yeah, he got a gang of shit. He just, you know, Dre's just Dre. And, you know, but... All these cats that haven't put music out, they still doing it.
Damn.
They still doing it.
So don't believe for 1 second Jay ain't create some shit.
Oh yeah, he got some wrong. He got some songs.
He got a verse of some shit.
He got some songs. Jay got some songs. All these cats got some songs. They got some songs.
Wow. But every time you say, man, fuck this rap shit, you always come back.
Always come back.
Love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Because it's time consuming, it's draining. It's, you know.
Yeah.
And you do, and because you're sensitive about your stuff, sometimes you get to that place where you're like, do people really care still? You know what I mean? But then you do put out a record, or, you know, you drop a freestyle, you know, just randomly, and, you know, like, you get, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 views, and people like, oh, he ain't rapped in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, then it's like, oh, people do actually still want to hear me rap. You know what I mean? They still care.
Like, damn, was like going too long that they forgot about me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that shit happens all the time.
I had AU on here, and he said being an artist, because, you know, he's a producer, but he's like, being in the music industry and being an artist and producer, you have to be selfish.
Oh, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I was like, damn. He's like, sometimes, like, you're going to offend people, not intentionally, but if you really doing this, you take it seriously, you're going to have to be selfish with your time.
Yeah.
Like, people close to you not going to understand that.
Yeah.
That, hey, I can't hang out right now. Oh, hey, yo, you ain't pick up the phone in 2 days, or yo, you ain't respond to my text, or yo, like you're going to have to understand that people just either you're going to lose friends along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Even your spouse is going to be upset with you.
It took my wife some time to really like my wife understands and knows that, and she hates it, but she knows that hip hop is my first love. She knows that. You know, she tells me all the time. You know what I mean?
Bitch more than me.
Right. Yeah, she knows, and it took her a while to really understand why I gave all that time to my art and why I gave all that time to my craft. And, you know, at times she would, especially early in our relationship, like she was jealous of, you know, like the time, like there was
so much of your time.
There was one specific instance where, like I didn't tell her, we were just dating at the time before we were married. And I just got up and left and went to New York for like a week. She had no idea where I was. She calling me like this is early cell phone shit. So we ain't have iPhones and FaceTime and all that shit yet. And she trying to find me. She calling my phone and and she's like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Oh, I hopped a Greyhound yesterday and came out to New York because I had an opportunity to do X, Y, and Z." And she like, you couldn't call me, you couldn't, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
just up to left to New York.
Yeah, like I had this opportunity came along and I was like, fuck it, I got the money, I jumped on it and I was gone.
Like, sorry.
Yeah, like it took me a while to get back in good graces. You know what I mean? But this was, we just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. You know what I mean?
But you're more committed to the music.
Yeah, but I'm committed to the music. So, when the music said come, I was like, all right. You know what I mean?
God damn, it ruined your relationship.
Almost, almost.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, almost.
Damn, that's amazing. So like, even with like someone that's close to you, like a loved one, your spouse or whatever, wife, girlfriend, like they will literally have, if you're serious about like the level of what you're speaking of, like that person will have to understand that sometimes they will not always be first.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Damn,
a lot of times they're going to be second.
Big ass.
Yeah, a lot of times they're going to be second.
And they have to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
I have to love him or her in spite of knowing that that's their first love.
Yeah, that's going to be more important than me sometimes.
Damn.
Yeah, it's real like that. Like when I'm in album mode, like
forget about it.
Yeah, it's like I'm in the studio, like I'm waking up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, going in, recording, writing, you know what I'm saying? Damn. Like writing stuff, like up in the bed, on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Now on the phone, like, writing. I used to keep a notepad by my bed, before, writing in the phone and stuff. Like, yeah, when I'm in that mode, like she knows, like there's times that I won't be to bed till 3-4 in the morning, even though I got to go to work the next day. Jeez. Or I'll wake up out of my sleep in the middle of the night writing. She understands. God. She doesn't really fuck with me. Damn. You know what I mean? She lets me have that time. And, we have to schedule our time during that time. Jesus. And she knows sometimes that schedule can get fucked up if I'm, in a groove. Yeah, if I'm in a groove.
It's hitting me right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got to push that back.
She hates it, but, she knows that, and it doesn't hurt that I make a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt that it's a second income. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It helps a little bit. But, those emotions do, like, sometimes you're going to have to, if you love somebody that is an artist, you're going to have to deal with, being second a lot.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's just the artist's life.
Yeah, it's just the artist's life.
Is that why we see like so many artists that are just alone?
Oh yeah,
because no one gets it, no one understands.
Or relationships that break up.
Yeah, they're always in a new thing.
Yeah, because they take their craft so serious. Even like actors, and because they take their craft so seriously. Like sometimes people are preparing for a movie for 1.5 years, and they got to become somebody else.
Right,
and you're
like,
living with
this person?
Right, you're living with a completely different person for a year. Like that shit is hard. I'm sure that shit is hard to deal with.
Ooh. I'm thankful I'm not a creative, because it just sounds like it's stressful to like be connected to someone that is so creative and so immersively focused into their craft that you don't know what you're going to get from them, when you're going to get their time. Mm-hmm. Like now, no, yes, maybe, no, okay, leave you alone, okay. But
also as the artist, you have to be, you have to be cognizant of that too. Okay, right. You know what I mean?
It's not like fucked up.
Yeah, it's not just like fuck you. You got to communicate. Yeah, you got to let them know like what's going on and why certain things are happening. So in the beginnings of my relationship, I wasn't good at communicating a lot of that stuff.
He just went to New York.
As we got deeper in our relationship, like I got better at communicating. That this is. Now I have a schedule, you know what I'm saying? So from 7 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, I'm in the studio.
Okay.
That's my time.
You got your block.
So those 3 hours, I'm in the studio. No matter what you want to do,
this is studio time.
7 to 10 every night, that 3 hours, and I do something creative, whether I'm, listening to a song, whether I'm writing, whether I'm tutorials, whether I'm whatever. I do something creative during that 3 hours, Monday through Thursday, and sometimes Friday, depending on if I don't have anything else. But usually I save Friday through Saturday for definite time with the wife.
Yeah.
And of course I take time, off, during those times too. Cause, I'm a grown ass man.
Right.
And, I understand that, happy wife, that shit is, it's
gotta
important.
Keep them happy.
Yeah, it's important.
Right.
But, growing up and really going through it and really trying to get to, certain places. If you got somebody trying to make it, like if you in that like 20, 20 to 25, 27 year, like it's better to probably not be in a relationship.
You're in grind mode.
Yeah, you in grind mode. You here, there, you traveling, you spending money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better to like have that one room studio apartment. You know what I'm saying? Couple roommates, even if you got more. Like, it's better to have that kind of life so you can lock in. Yeah.
Man, hey, we here with Illogic, man. If you haven't subscribed by now, man, only when you get these type of conversations on Cloth Talk Podcast, where people are cut from a cloth like Illogic here. I'm gonna play another song from yours. We'll come back. We'll hit on a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. Where you want to go? Where should we give the people next, man? So we gave them a nice introduction to Illogic for the people who are getting introduced to you for their first time. Wait, hold up. So you 25 plus years in this industry?
Yeah.
Wow, 25 plus. 20 clip.
Yeah. Unforeseen came out. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, we're actually 99. We released it on tape in 99.
Oh, so it came out on
cassette. And it came out on CD 2000. We did a release party and everything, but
25 plus.
Yeah, 25 plus. It's been a long time. Man. Been a long time. Damn, it's been a long time. Think about it.
Does it go fast? Like, or does it? Do you like? I can feel the 25.
It didn't seem fast when I was going through it, but now that I look back on it, it definitely seems like it was real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me see, because I know that all your
you can pick.
I can pick.
We can go something newer. You know what I mean?
There's one of my favorite songs of yours. I was just listening to it yesterday. I think it's on Got Lyrics.
Okay.
That's the follow-up. That's your sophomore release.
Yeah, that's my sophomore release.
Yeah. What's the name? Is it Stop Lying? Or is it Got Lyrics?
Yeah, those are two of people's favorites.
Yeah, let me see if it's Stop Lying. I gotta hear it. Hold on, let me go to Got Lyrics. I'll know when I hear the beat.
Got Lyrics?
No. Where is it? Nope. I think it's maybe Countdown.
No, Countdown is just a countdown.
Oh, that's just literally Countdown. Yeah. It's something. It got like a. This is it.
Oh, this one?
My favorite.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. Hold on, let me start this because I'm gonna run this back. That's my favorite shit. Figment of my creation. God damn it, Illogic. Yo, your pen, man. Can let me ask you before we go to break and we play that record. Can you teach someone to do what you do? Cause let's say we did this. We do a segment. We just spitballing here. I say, all right, Illogic, we're gonna do it like we're gonna record this. We're gonna take me and the camera and you. We're gonna go out in the streets and we're gonna say, okay, the mission is we're just gonna find a random person and you gotta teach them how to write a rhyme. Can you teach someone who's never written a rhyme, don't know how to count bars, never wrote to a beat or nothing? Can you teach them from A to B how to write a rhyme from scratch? Not how you would do it, but can you sit someone down and say, I can teach you how to write a rhyme? It's not going to be like the level of me, but I can teach you how to write a rhyme. Can you do that?
Yeah, I could.
Really?
Yeah, I think I could.
We could just, a random person that don't know nothing about rap music, you can teach them how to write a rhyme.
Yeah, I think I could.
Wow.
I'm actually thinking about like once I kind of get situated, because I'm going to be moving and shit soon, but like next year I'm thinking about putting together a writing course actually to kind of help.
Sharpen people's tools.
Yeah, like,
so you think you can do that?
Yeah, I think I could teach people how to write, because writing in itself, you can learn it, but the skill of it takes practice. Like writing a rhyme in itself is not difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
like,
my mind would think that shit is hard. So where would you start them from? Like,
well, I would start them from what kind of stuff do they know? What kind of stuff would they want to write about in the first place? Like, you have to find something that they're interested in to give them something to write about.
Got you.
And then they'll take it a little more seriously if you actually give them something, or they come up with something to write about, a topic, a concept. And then I would go from there, explaining bars, explaining counting, all of that stuff. And, then kind of probably start from the earliest rhymes, because those were, the earliest rhymes with the, like the Sugar Hill Gang and, Funky 4+1 and like those, because those rhyme schemes were easy to grab hold of.
Yes.
So you can kind of see where the progression, because I think really to teach people how to MC, you have to teach them where MCing came from,
so you would
and
take
the progression, the progression of it, because it's not gonna be a simple process. But I think in order to understand it and how it goes, if you have someone that completely does not understand anything about music, anything about anything,
right,
you have to kind of start them at the beginning to where they can understand, even using Dr. Seuss, you know what I'm saying? Like
as simple as it can get.
As simple as it can get, to get them to understand rhyming and rhyme scheme and rhyming words and all of that. Yeah. And then you get into the rhythmic part of it.
Someone comes like, I want to rhyme like Common, you like, slow down.
Right. Yeah, slow down. Let's get you to rhyme like, like some other people first.
Yeah. We're gonna listen to Eazy-E.
Shoot.
Okay, so you think you can pull it off? I guess so.
I think I can teach. I think I could teach people definitely how to rhyme.
Yeah.
But being good at it is a whole.
That's a whole. We need a little bit more time with you.
How to do it is definitely doable.
Right. But I can get you the right one.
Yeah, being good at it is a whole nother animal.
Okay, we're going to get to one of my favorite songs. Like we was just about to go to break, but I had to answer that question. Figment of my concentration. Tell me about I'm actually about this song when we come back, because I really like this. You said that was interesting, huh?
Yeah.
That this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people go to this one?
Yeah, not a lot of people. There's people that like it, definitely, but not a lot. Like,
they don't say it's their favorite.
Yeah, usually got lyrics.
Got lyrics is hard.
Got lyrics. Stop lying.
Yep.
Name game, definitely.
Yes.
Break bread.
That's hard.
Yeah.
This is a really good, solid sophomore follow up.
Yeah.
Really good. It's strong.
Interestingly enough, it was actually my third record. Celestial Clockwork was actually done when we put this out.
Really?
I did this album in 2 weeks.
What the fuck?
Got lyrics, yeah. We did the beats and wrote the rhymes. It was in 2 weekends.
2 weekends? This whole project was done in 2 weekends?
Yeah.
We're going to come back and talk about that. God, wait, what? Yeah. All right, my mind just completely blown. Before we go to break, of course, Illogic, let the people know where they can follow you, tap in with you. They want to get the catalog, immerse themselves in your music, follow your pod, and all stuff that you got going on. Go ahead and plug away.
Yeah, you can catch me at Illogic 614 on all platforms. Illogic Music on Facebook. IamIllogic.com is my website. Vibe Society TV on YouTube. Illogic 614 on YouTube. Our podcast, Super Duty Tough Work, superdutytoughwork.com. Just all kind. Just put Illogic in the Google.
It'll all pop up.
In the Google, in the Google machine, and it'll all pop up. You know what I mean?
Whatever you're looking for is there.
Yeah, all the Spotify, all of that stuff, Apple Music, I'm everywhere. Just
That's
type Illogic rapper in that, because there are some like DJs with Illogic and some rock groups and all that shit. But you type Illogic rapper, all that shit'll pop up.
People confuse you with the white Logic rapper.
Yes, they do all the time. They're like, "Oh, you talking about Logic?" No. Illogic, different person.
Right, put another IL in front of that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back here. All my independent artists, send your music to CloudTalk, 5@gmail.com, so I can get you on rotation. I love to use this platform to show support to all the artists out there grinding. CloudTalk, 5@gmail.com. Send your MP3 files and your social media so I can show you love. We'll be right back.
Can you even attempt to handle the manhandling, hook grappling, channel change, strange happenings, rearranged and tackling? Refrain from acting, cause I'm back smacking the whack rapping who lack backing, while against the grain, ills traveling constantly. Still brain freeze like rapidly eating ice milk, voice of silk, I spilled across blueprinted melodies, swallowing contents of continents, feeding from my Columbus following, using consonants and vowels, and at least in omnipotent styles. But you talk, I allow my vowels during movements. Who went to levitate crowds from the ground roots? I down stoop and speak facially, vocally embrace the fake who be nice in my presence, but talk and distaste of me and the comforts of my shadow. So battle and find your feminine side. Get in touch with it, cause you're showing you're in the most rip blowing from the masculine attain. Be sure to grab your umbrella when it rains, and I'll make sure I explain how you don't want to strain the ions in your chain. Platinum, some mine gray metal with my stiletto bond. I'll start your growth by botany magic. Host to the parasitic, tragic, no frills. See, ill has no time to add water to your chia skills. See the deals? Grab hold and swing for a lifetime. It starts to shake and shiver whenever my hand the mic finds, cause it knows it's safe and the flows are great. Loves the verbal intake as we stand and wait, plan waits for the ballers who deflate. Accompanied by hot air balloon suppliers, liars who think hip-hop, some play in which they're playing their part, killing off for the sport of it. You sure to quit when I expose your lack of confidence, to refute your nonsense with a comment in my eyes is an accomplishment. For your action there's a consequence, and I'm inflicting punishment, ripping some cunning spit, you're backtracking, slacking off. You're one of those kids who turns their head and cough, letting some old man fondle you while you sit solemnly in a windowsill. Your little shield won't protect you, yet you attempt to block the shockwaves. I got slaves who picks the crowds out the face. I'm resting in the arms of a dream, tearing questions by the seam, spit so hot, see the steam rising from vocal vapors escaping my esophagus. I bust bubbles, a Hubble telescopes, telling the scope, shuffle the deck and wreck. Tangle, strangle, freedom at an op, too sangle to try. Acute abuse of a stable. I never knew they made them earth size. Continue to hide art in my thoughts venue and send you to the home of brimstone. Take a swim in a lake of flames. I meant to rape your name encased in chains. Change the station of your patience while I'm erasing the class of mental accidental ways to crash. You're into a mountain of ill, a mountain of skill. I'm doubting you're real. You took the red pill and ended up somewhere in the matrix, stuck with hatred. Ducked authority figure, skipped intelligence, went straight to pulling triggered negligence, blowing me away as you hold the mic. Flowing like this, you never will. Patterns too ill, Saturn still rings in my ears from the visit. Explicit lyric content present, bent one wing of a pheasant, made him fly in the circle for hours like you try to do my crew. Towering over you by a couple millennium leagues, closer to the earth's inner seas. The day we play your city, into the realm of the Escavilles. We scribble jam middles with pencil brush strokes. Your stencils just broke. Inhale fresh tokes of words, burning smoke to resin. Learning 7 ways to rock over stock on the floor. Bleeding from the pores as you knock to the floor. Locked in a television prison. Listen to the echoes from my dreams. Scream as the path of the mind shafts corrupted by demons. With poetic semen dripping from their fangs.
Yeah, we back right here on Cloth Talk Podcast. Illogic is here. Shit, man. All right, I got cameras and everything changed around. Hey, man, this is how you know artists got good eye. When we went to break, Illogic was like, hey, your camera. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm so like immersed in the conversation. I realized one of my cameras went off. That's why I have multiple cameras going at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, you just dropped a bomb on me before we went to break. This project was made in 2 weeks, 2 weekends.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well,
please explain.
The story goes, we had finished Celestial Clockwork.
Yeah.
And we were actually shopping it because we were looking for, we knew it was a special record.
Yes.
And we figured maybe, this might be better in the hands of some people with some money. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So we were shopping it, and a few people were interested. There's a label called Mush Records that was out back in the day, and it put out a lot of my contemporaries, Aesop Rock, Dose One, a lot of those type of cats. It was more of an avant-garde hip hop label, and they were interested in Celestial Clockwork. So, but they didn't want to pay us what we thought the record was worth. So they close. Yeah, they were just like, they just wanted to put something out from me.
I see.
So in that, we were like, okay, give us a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So we give us a couple of weeks. So in those, because Blueprint lived in, this was when I was back home already. Okay. So Blueprint lived in Cincinnati at the time. I was in Columbus. Okay. So I would travel up to, record. Yeah. And he made the beats and I wrote the rhymes, on the spot, with him making the beats. And 2 weekends we had that ready.
That's crazy.
And ironically, we still ended up putting it out ourselves because we still didn't like the money that they were talking, so we still ended up putting it out ourselves. And putting this out, it was a critically acclaimed record. Actually, I was in the Herb Next 100 when this record came out. I was actually in the same Herb Next 100 that Kanye was in. There was a couple like notable, cats that was in that Herb Next 100. But so we got a lot of critical acclaim for Got Lyrics, and it really laid the groundwork for Celestial Clockwork.
Wow, which was done before that.
Which was already done.
So technically, your sophomore project isn't your sophomore project.
Right, Celestial was actually the sophomore project.
But the business y'all wanted didn't match up with.
Oh my and we God. Knew we knew Got Lyrics was dope. So and we thought it would be a good bridge to Celestial because it still kind of had the boom bap elements of Unforeseen Shadows, but the rhyming was a little more poetic than Unforeseen Shadows. So it was a good bridge to the poeticness of Celestial Clockwork.
Wow, that's crazy. That's 2 weekends. do you? Because okay, let me ask you about your creative process now. Do you have to be I know we were talking how you well, I guess at this point it's probably different, but I know how we were just talking about how you create the space and the block time that you need to create. From 7 to 10, 7 to 11, I'm locked in, don't bother me, you know what I'm doing.
Right.
I guess I'm trying to ask, okay, when it comes down to you alone with the beat, your mind, your concepts, how you're coming up with the concepts, the verses, the choruses, when it comes to that process, how does that come to you? Do you, when you hear the track, or are you trying to match what you already have in your mind to a beat? I need what I have in my mind, I need to find that sound.
It's a lot different now. I used to write without beats a lot when I was younger. I used to just write all the time, just writing raps and to metronomes, or if I had beats, then I would.
So you can write with no beat?
Yeah, I used to write with no beat. And then I would structure, when I would get a beat that was around the tempo I needed, then I would, take things out, add things, what I'm saying, and kind of restructure around, a lot of the first Unforeseen Shadows was done that way. And I had other things because I always had a notebook, as a lot of the cats that knew me back then. I had a notebook full of I had some in the chamber at all times. At all times, had a rhyme in the chamber.
So we would never catch you lacking.
Yeah, never catch me slipping at all times. Always ready for a cipher.
Yes,
always
right.
something I could rhyme off the top of the head. I could freestyle, all of that stuff. But as I got older and started to really focus on my writing, then I would want to write more to beats so I can make sure that what I'm writing fits the mood of everything. So I would, most of the time I would get beat tapes from, whoever I was working with at the time and kind of work that. And I still kind of work that way now. I'm a little more intentional about, styles, but there are times where I have concepts that I want to write about and I need to find a beat that fits those concepts.
I see.
That's part of why I started making beats too, because in my head I heard a beat that went with the concept and I couldn't really explain it to nobody. So so I had to start making my own
just do it myself.
just do it myself. So that's part of the reason I started making beats, is because as I got older, it was okay, I've done so much with so many different people, and it's now I want to tackle this thing in a more personal way and have a real complete connection to everything that I'm releasing.
Which leads us to, you left us on a cliffhanger before we went to break. You said that we're going to be getting something soon. Oh shit! Yeah. Now, of course, I'm not going to ask you a lot because I know I've started to learn now. Artists, y'all are very protective of work that is not released.
Right.
So I stopped asking those type of questions. However, I can't leave the people without asking. do we have a time frame?
Hopefully by the end of the year.
Ooh.
Is the plan. But me and Blueprint, after 20 plus years
have reconnected
of not doing anything together, we got a new record coming out. Yeah.
God damn.
At this
there
point,
it is.
At this point, we don't have a title.
No title.
No title yet. No title yet.
Okay.
But we do have about 14 songs done. And the album will probably end up being 10 to 12. And we'll probably do some more and do, some different things. But yeah, that's the next project. Me and Blueprint
after 20 years.
After 20 years being Blueprint, with Blueprint on the beats, me on the rhymes.
Back like old times.
Yeah, back like we never left. And it's really like a really special record, because you remember that time frame I was saying, like, I couldn't write. Right. There was things that I needed to write about that I couldn't write. I wrote about those things on this record. So, like, there's a lot of rehashing some things from childhood that I never really dealt with. Dealing with, my wife, going through cancer and her diagnosis and how that affected me. Just certain things with my children going on, becoming a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, real life experience shit that I needed to get out. And, this record is really was that, push that I needed to. Once Blueprint sent me some beats, it was like all this stuff started to spill out. So, once we reconnected, it was, he kind of gave me all the shit that I needed to, really let go. So, yeah, it's coming. Hopefully the end of this year.
Wow, so we want to get this by the end of the year.
Yeah.
All the Illogic fans who's been waiting and then clamoring like, hey man, what's up with all this beat making shit? Yeah. We want the rap. We want to introduce you as a producer. Yeah. You are MC, my brother.
Yeah.
Wow, so this sounds like it's going to be a very personal record.
Yeah, it's very personal. Really good. And it's it's one of those things where, like, just listening to the songs, I feel super proud, and I feel like it's a good it's a great record to release as a grown ass man. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely like cats that are my age and even younger, but people that are my age, like in my age group, 40s,
they'll relate
with
to
children,
this.
with wives, with lives, like,
this is for them.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of those. But
wow,
yeah, it's really good. And Prince in Another World with the beats, and we're doing some special things.
I love it. Let me ask you this, right? Because like, as you're speaking about like writing, because like earlier we spoke about how artists are sensitive about their music, and it's like, I do kind of feel away if you say that you don't like a certain, that I understand everything's not for everybody, but I want you to fuck with my shit.
Right.
But now with this personal record, that you and your guy did together, like, is it tough writing that personal, like, really? Because I know you explained it's therapy, but also, like, this is going out to the world. Mm-hmm. Like, for you, was it tough to, like, I don't know if I want to touch on that.
Sometimes, like but I kind of came into the game doing it, like on Celestial Clock. I mean, on Unforeseen Shadows, the song "Hate in a Puddle" was kind of, there was really no songs like that when I did that. And, a song about self-hatred, wanting to, commit suicide and not really liking yourself and things like that, and really getting into that emotional place as a rapper and not, trying to be hard, not trying, like, being actually that vulnerable. There wasn't a lot of that going on, during that time. And so I kind of came in the game with, kind of bearing my soul.
Right.
And I've always been open, so I've never really, my wife is a lot more, like, you don't have to share everything, kind of, but that's the kind of artist that I am. If I'm going through it, if it's something that I'm going through or something that I have gone through, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to end up writing about it at some point, no matter how, personal it is, because that's how I deal with things. Yeah. You know what I mean? I deal with things through writing, and, sometimes it when I play it back, a lot of times I don't get completely over it until I get it written, until I hear it back, and kind of work through those emotions, hearing them back. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really important to me to get those emotions out, and it is hard sometimes. There's a song on the new record that's dealing with a few things that I've had to deal with as a kid, and dealing with parents, and dealing with just different kinds of situations that I've had to go through. Wow. And some of that I never dealt with, until writing this song. Some things my parents don't know about that I had to go through. Some things that maybe my wife didn't know, that nobody really knew, that I had never really talked about. Some of those things that is going to be talked about on this record. So it's definitely a very important piece for me. And I hope people fuck with it.
Yeah, man. Like that's very, like, that takes a lot of like gumph to be able to just be like, fuck it.
Yeah, because I write for me first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things. I was
gonna ask you that. Like, when you're creating and writing, like, are you thinking about the listener first, or are you just thinking about, I'm just expressing? I just gotta express.
I need to express. I write for me first. You know what I mean? Like, when I write things that I feel I need to hear. And, I hope and pray that the people like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, throughout my career, I've always been told that, with certain songs of mine, songs like Hate in a Puddle, where people have heard them and they're like, you're saying the things that I didn't know how to say. And hearing that I'm not the only one going through X, Y, and Z has helped me deal with these emotions and learn how to grow from these things. So I've always felt like God gave me this gift to be a vessel. So with me, writing such emotional music sometimes, I feel like it's a necessary thing because I was given this, and because somebody else needs to hear it other than me. I need to hear it, first and foremost, but I know that there's somebody else that's going to understand that, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that's gone through this certain thing. There's somebody that I, listen to or look up to, or even that I just discovered, you know what I mean? That has gone through this thing, so I'm not alone, so I can keep going. I can, because he's still here. He's still pushing through. He made it, so I can make it. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like God has given me this gift, mainly for that reason.
Really? Wow, so you take it as responsibility.
Yeah, it's serious, man. I told you, like, this stuff ain't. This ain't for play. You know what I mean? Like, this is some real shit.
Woo! Another plateau, man. God damn. So we're gonna learn about a lot of things that a lot of people don't know that you went through in your life with this one. Yeah. Stuff that your parents don't even know you said, even your wife.
Yeah. Kid stuff, grown stuff, like
a lot of stuff you kept in.
A lot of stuff that, I mean, because, black men, you know how it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good. I'm all right.
Right. We gotta be.
Chest poked out. I'm good.
It's hard for us to be
soft.
It's hard for us to be vulnerable. It
is.
And luckily, poets and artists and we get to, like, find those spaces without being looked at as a bitch. You know what I mean?
So you got a scapegoat.
Yeah, I gotta escape. You know what I'm saying? I got somewhere to channel that stuff because I'm an artist. I can express myself. I can cry on record if I need to, without being looked at as like,
stop bitching.
Right, exactly. It's a song, man. It's a song. I'm trying to, but yeah, shit is real.
Wow, now I'm eager to hear this now, man. Wow, this got me like perked up. I'm like, oh wow. So we don't have a working title yet, no official date yet, but you are hoping 2026 to release.
2026, hoping for a 2026 release at the latest, early 2027. But we are in the process of doing mixing and picking, the tight, because we don't want no filler. We want everything to be, we want it to bang. Boom. Yeah. So we got some dope guest appearances on the record. Can we
get a little sneak peek of some features? We got
Trigno.
God,
You know?
Trickno's on there.
Hometown hero.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Trickno.
Yeah, gotta join with my man Open Mike Eagle and Video Dave, out of Chicago, LA area. So so we
good
got
features.
we got some things happening.
Yeah. Can we expect any visuals, videos?
Oh yeah, videos are going.
They
Videos,
coming?
content,
The
all
whole
of that.
package is
the
coming.
whole package, whole little campaign. Like we gonna get started working on that in the next couple months. So,
what do you enjoy most, creating the song or performing the song?
creating the song. And I think honestly, not even necessarily creating the song. I think I enjoy the feeling I get once the song is done, listening to it for the first time after it's completely mixed and mastered. Like, because the kind of producer, especially dealing with Blueprint, like the song might not even sound like it did when I recorded it. You know, as far as the beat, like he's known for flipping beats and, you know, taking elements out and changing things around. Yeah. So, you know, with him specific, you know, especially, like I'm looking forward to the finished product to see, because he produces, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a producer, you know, he don't just make beats and just
like, here, do your thing.
Yeah, like he's a producer. So I'm looking forward to that end result of everything. But, you know, like for me, just even when I write stuff after I record it, like, you know, if I'm really feeling some shit, like that'll be all I'll listen to for like a week, like that one song.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like if I'm really like in that zone, like and I'm really fucking with what I'm doing on that song or those songs, like that'll be all I'm listening to. You know. But yeah, I'm working on a whole bunch of shit, man. Like, you know, like me and my man Product, who is my tour DJ. We are a group called Wrong Side of Midnight. We're working on an album.
Ooh, another one in the chamber.
Yeah, like I got an instrumental project I'm working on. That'll be next year. Lucid Logic 2. I'm producing that one. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of shit, man. Man. Yeah, man. I'm always fucking busy, and you know.
Wow. Let me ask you this, right? Would you say has Illogic written his perfect verse yet? Have you written a perfect verse yet?
Honestly, that might not be for me to answer.
You leave that to the listener.
Yeah, I'd leave that to the listener. Like for me, I believe that I've written some perfect songs in my opinion.
Okay.
But
top to bottom.
Yeah, like I think like certain songs, like a song like "Hate in a Puddle," like I believe that song is perfect. I believe "I Wish You Would Make Me" is a perfect song. But that would be like the perfect verse, like that does everything that I think that would be, and it will probably be different for different people. Like a lot of people probably would say yes, and they'll point you to a verse, but everybody's verse won't be the same. Different one. Yeah, because I got so much shit, man. I got so much music, man.
It's so much. It's like the bag is deep.
Yeah,
man.
The bag is deep, and it's all over the place. So much shit, you know.
When you hear some of your old stuff, like, do you like, damn, I wrote that? Yeah. Like, do you have moments like that? Like, oh, shit, I wrote that?
Yeah, I do have some moments like that.
You kind of shock yourself.
Yeah, some styles that I've used that I've never like been able to revisit. Like I've had songs where I've done certain things like lyrically and like style wise, and found pockets that I've never been able to duplicate. Yeah, you know, and sometimes I amaze myself. Yeah. You
know. Couple final questions here. We're gonna wrap this one up. I do gotta ask you this question about your city, Columbus. Yeah. Because Fonz and Bolo is on here, and it stirred a big commotion. It got people talking, and I didn't know it was gonna get that type of reaction and like response to it, but somehow it took off. Mm-hmm. I asked Fonz, who's the promoter, is it possible? And I guess it's a two-part question for you too. Before I ask that question, do you see a reunion that the third and all of the guys that are still around, a reunion show? Do you think that's possible for you guys?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's possible.
Put all it to a side.
Yeah. All that shit's been. We all cool now. But
I think that's possible.
I think anything is possible. It just depends on where we are in our careers and what we're trying to accomplish by doing it.
Yeah. But you're in.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely down. I've always been down. Me and Co City have talked at length. About doing. Some things together. I've sent them beats and stuff. So, I'm always definitely down.
Show?
Yeah, I'm always down. Even maybe if the timing is right, maybe me and Rashada release the Soul Cypher stuff from 30 years ago. Because it still exists. It's on tape. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the best quality. We'll try to get it mastered, but so it's I'm always open to that. That kind of shit.
Good. Okay.
I love the nostalgia.
There you go. Of course, gotta love it. Okay. All right. So the question was, in its entirety, this city of Columbus, could we have a centralized focus, a weekend type of festival type of thing, however it's orchestrated? Because it was just the idea I have. Because being an outsider, I get to see it from a bird's eye view, the talent that is in this city.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind, and I'll ask you this question after you answer this one. It blows my mind how much people don't even know about each other.
Exactly.
It boggles my mind. Because I'm from a city called fucking Brotherly Love. And when I started interviewing people here, and I'm, talking to artists, and I'm asking them about an artist in their same town, their same side, even he's on the north side just like you, and they're like, who you talking about?
There's a lot of cats I have no idea who they are,
of course,
especially a lot of newer dudes. I'm not familiar.
It blows my mind that nobody knows each other. People are just comfortable staying in their own little cliques in their circles
because that centralized location kind of thing.
Like,
there's
why do I need to know him? And I'm like, what do you mean? So as I just got to interview more and more and more, just like, damn, they don't care to fuck with each other. Like, they're fine with just doing their thing and not banding together, but everyone's chasing the same thing.
Right.
So me having the bird's eye view to see all the talent in the city, but no one's really banding together. Do you see that it could be a possible where there's some type of weekend or event where somehow gather up all the artists and just don't give a fuck what side you from, what clique you're in, yada yada yada. Pull all the egos and shit aside. Y'all share a stage together, a weekend. We bring out the bounty houses for the kids, food vendors, and people just rock, and it's all love.
It would take the right person to put it together. Back in
the party days.
Again, there needs to be a centralized person that is cool with everybody, that knows the young people, that knows the vets, that knows the people in the middle, that can bring everyone together under an umbrella. And it has to be, the egos have to go to the side, but also
I think that's gonna be the hardest part.
Of course, because cats want to get paid too, for something like that, especially. And if I do my own show, I make this amount of money. If I just cater to my crowd, I make this amount of money. If I just do this, you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like what's in it for me type thing.
So those kind of thoughts and ideas have to, either be fed. We have to make sure we got the right sponsorship, make sure we have the right amounts of money, because there are artists that are really well known, that are in this city, that do different types of shit, that I might not know about, that might not know about me, that might not know about Blueprint, that might not know about RJD2, that might not know about, there's a lot of shit. And I think also the thing, instead of limiting it to hip hop, why not just make it a music festival? Because there is so much different types of talent here, and so many artists that have made it to certain points in their careers in their respective lanes, as far as jazz artists, as far as R&B artists, rock artists, like there are reggae groups. Like there's so many different type. You could do a whole weekend if you expand it beyond hip hop. Yeah. If you keep it limited to hip hop, you might be able to get away with a day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To where people will come out.
Right.
But if you expand it to like all genres, like a whole, or if you expand it to an Ohio festival.
Ooh, now we cooking.
Like we do Ohio, like all Ohio artists.
Ooh. Pulling from Cleveland, pulling from Cincinnati, Dayton, Toledo,
everywhere.
Akron.
Yeah, like if you do
Youngstown.
Something, or if you do something like that, do an Ohio festival with all Ohio artists.
Now we create something special.
Yeah, then you can pull the Black Keys. You can pull, you know what I'm saying? Like you even, how big you want to go? We can go John Legend. We can go, you know what I'm saying? Like we can go to the funk. We got Bootsy Collins. We got, you know what I'm saying? Like you can really do a whole lot. And then you have the people that are here. You have, the a lot of the mid tiers. You got Bow Wow. You got, like there's a whole bunch of shit, just from Ohio itself. Yeah. But even if we just want to do Columbus, that's right. I think expanding it beyond just hip hop would be key to doing something like a weekend kind of festival, because everyone would have stake in promoting everyone, bringing everybody out. And again, my music might not be for this person's music might not be for that, but there'll be something.
I was about to say, like, and that's fine.
Yeah,
there's
there'll
something
be
for
something.
Everybody on that stage.
Yeah, there'll be something for everybody on that stage.
I just think that would be so dope for y'all city to have that moment.
Yeah,
because there's so many artists on here. They don't feel like they got that look. They feel overlooked. They don't feel like one's paying attention. They feel like they just a castaway. It's like, man, like what beauty that would be to give that, to give the city that and show the city what y'all have. Like, look at this, like, talent in abundance. Yeah. And then I think that would breathe new life in artists.
I think it definitely, and it would create like you would build relationships.
Because
if you did a talent, like a whole festival for the weekend with all different types of music,
we gotta be together.
Then we gotta be together. We all gotta be backstage.
Times rehearsal backstage.
Right. We all gotta be backstage together. You bumping into people that you might not have seen in years, or people that you're a fan of that you didn't even know they was from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit is possible if you do something like that.
But it takes that one person to be able to bring it all together.
It takes
and that's what's missing.
Or groups, or a group of people.
It could be a collective.
It could be a collective of people that have their hands in all kind of stuff that, kind of band together and say, hey, I manage these groups, or I represent these groups, or I have connection to this person and that person that represents these people and this people. Like part of our problem is there's too many people that I don't fuck with this person, I don't fuck with that person. Like, and granted, sometimes the shit is legit. Sometimes there's a legit reason
not to fuck with somebody.
Not to fuck with somebody. They might have fucked you over. They might have did some snake shit that really, I don't fuck with you. But
we got it.
Yeah, we understand. But you get something big enough to where they can be on their opposite sides. They can have their different dress.
Have you on day 2?
Yeah. You on day 1, you on day 2. Like, we can have those kind of situations if you do the right thing and there's the right, situation with everybody involved. I think it's definitely possible to do something like that.
Man, wow. Man, hopefully that happens one day. Like, I'm gonna keep asking this question every time, like, more artists I have on there, and hopefully it sparks someone, like it sparks action, and like from this conversation, that the more that we have it, like you said, like if it's not one individual, maybe it's like you said, like a conglomerate of promoters or people who represent these people, and they all come together, they sit down, like the big guys, they get together by themselves, no entourage, no artists with you. Y'all come together in a room, y'all figure it out.
Figure out the money, figure out sponsorships, figure out venue, figure out all that stuff, and take it to your artists and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? And I definitely think it's possible. We have way too much talent here in the city.
Y'all need
in all types of music, to where we could do something a yearly thing.
You can make it annual.
Like an annual thing, to where we could definitely do something that could create some noise.
Man, definitely. Have any younger artists ever reached out to you for like mentorship? Like do they? Because like I'm always interested like to know like bridging the gap between the younger generation and the older generation. What I've come to understand when I have the younger artists on here and interview them, they always tell me they feel like y'all don't listen to them. And y'all just all that young shit out of here. Y'all ain't rapping. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Like they feel like you guys don't appreciate them or respect what they do. And it's almost like they feel like y'all talking down on them when y'all really could be teaching them. But they feel like y'all... Not like y'all, like you said,
right,
but the older generation feel that as they're speaking down on them, and they kind of like, well, fuck it then. Like we don't want to. If that's how y'all going to talk about us, we ain't going to listen to y'all then. Well, fuck it. Well, y'all old. Y'all just mad because we making money now. Y'all had to fucking ship demo tapes to New York and shit. Right. All I gotta do is click publish and I'm lit. Right.
Yeah. I think that is kind of a misnomer. I think it depends. I think it depends on, for one, it depends on the artist.
Okay.
I think it also depends on who you reaching out to. Because there are some people that, might be on some gatekeeper shit.
Yep.
There might be some people that, do look at the younger generation as y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing. That shit whack.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of us, because I've never been reached out to, to mentor anyone.
Really?
Now there are people that, will bend my ear, because there's a lot of the young dudes that I do fuck with. You know what I mean? I go to release parties and listening parties, and I show my face, like I do support, a lot of the young cats.
Got Trigno on the album.
Yeah, got Trigno on the album, just did a song with Trek Manifest.
There we go.
Like there's cats that I, definitely mess with and listen to and all that, but yeah, no one's ever really reached out to me as far as mentorship. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. Other people have reached out to me for mentorship outside of the city. You know what I mean? But that's that's just how the shit works. That's how it works. That's how the shit works. You know what I mean? It's in the Bible that you're looked at as people from outside of your home always look at you for the advice more than the people inside your home. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids a lot of times don't think I know what the hell I'm talking about, but then they see people like buying my album and like, you just dad, you know what I mean? Like, so it took them some time to get to that point, but definitely I would never turn someone away. But also, I'm honest too.
Oh shit, that's what's gonna hurt.
You know what I mean?
The younger, they're fragile.
Yeah, they're super
fragile, man.
Yeah, you can't come to me and be fragile and be and not want to take criticism, because they talking about we don't listen. We're not the ones that don't listen.
Ooh.
It's them that a lot of times don't listen because they think they know everything. And they think just because we say we don't like something or something is whack, we're hating on them. When in reality, if the shit whack, the shit whack. Just because you make it and you just artists sensitive about their shit.
Going back to that. There we go. Yeah.
Going back to that. Just because you made it and you think it's the dopest thing in the world, and let's go into somebody that has been doing this for 20 plus years, I can tell you if something sounds good, even if I wouldn't listen to it. You know what I mean?
I have the ear.
I know, because Quiet as Cat, my son makes music.
Oh, okay.
He goes by Last Resort.
Last Resort.
But all of his music, it wouldn't be something that I would listen to on a regular basis. But he got a couple joints and I'm like, that's a hit. You know what I'm saying? That song is dope. That song is dope. You know what I mean? But it's not my cup of tea.
Right.
But I'm honest with him when I tell him something doesn't sound right. I tell him something isn't on key. If I tell him something, you know what I'm saying, needs some work. And he's not sensitive to the point, because he understands that I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And if somebody really wanted me to mentor them, then they would have to understand that I'm going to be honest with them and I'm going to tell them what's good and what's not. And again, take my shit with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I could be wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But, with my experience, I feel like I have the experience to tell you, You know what I'm saying? Like that you should listen if I say, oh, this needs work. This sounds like, you know, you might need to add X, Y, and Z. Yes. Or the hook might need some work on this. Or X, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things. Like I'm not going to just shit on somebody just to shit on them. Now, if you shouldn't be doing it, you shouldn't be doing it. Everybody shouldn't be a rapper. You know what I mean? There's some people that aren't meant to do this.
Yeah, but now to them, it's a lick. It's a hustle.
Right. And if that's all you're trying to get out of it, I'm not the person to come to. I mean, let's keep it real.
You gonna keep it a buck?
Yeah, I'm not the one to come to if you just looking at it as a lick. Like if you trying to look at it as a career and craft, and you see it as something that is meaningful. And then maybe we can talk. But if you just looking at it as I'm not the dude for that, and that's cool. You know, do you? You know what I'm saying?
Get your paper.
Yeah, get your paper. There's room for all of us, man. But don't come to me asking my opinion when you know you just saying anything and there's no emotion, no feeling, no nothing. Yeah, I'm not the dude for that. I'm not.
That's amazing to me that not one artist has come to you.
Yeah.
And I know you said outside of the city, but not one has come to you. Because like if I was a aspiring MC or wanted to get better at my writing or wanted to like, how do I structure this? Or what would you do here? What you think about this? Like I'm trying to pull this concept off, but I'm struggling introducing it. I'm struggling finding the pocket. And I know that there's a proven concept of a guy that pulled it off that I'm trying to pull off in my city. And I know he's reachable and his door is open. The first thing I'm getting on my line and I'm hitting him.
Yeah.
First thing.
I mean, it
blows my mind.
It makes sense, but I think also a person like me too, because I'm not the most boisterous. You know what I'm saying? Like I do kind of stick to, even when I'm out and about, like I kind of stick to myself. Yeah. I'm not a real out there talkative. So they may be like I don't know if I can approach. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of the same thing I had. Like, do he do interviews?
Yeah, like, exactly. Thing. Yeah, so that could be part of it too. But, everybody can hear it here. Like, my door is open. Like, if you do have questions, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely hit me up and we can discuss things. I don't have a problem, taking on, cats for mentorship and,
I think it would be so valuable with
I mean, and a lot of people listen to our podcast and get a lot of shit from there too.
Nice. Okay.
So, just reaching out personally, there might just be like, shit, I just listen to the podcast. Y'all dropping all the time. But so yeah, if cats are interested in, getting some mentorship or some consulting from your boy, hit me up and we can, discuss what all that would entail. And we can go from there.
I like it. What is it like to have a critically acclaimed album? What
does
that
interesting.
feel like?
It's interesting. Like it's one of those things where it always surprises me, and it's a real source of pride. Every time it comes around, that Celestial has turned another year old, or people just post what it means to them, or there's cats that like a dude just did an article on it.
Wow.
Last month or something, knowing that it was coming up on the anniversary. So people still talk about the record. And it's great, you know what I'm saying? Just to know that I created something that definitely still stands the test of time 20 plus years later is a real source of pride. And it's one of those things that kind of keeps me going. Yeah. And I feel like I'm better. You know what I'm saying?
Wait till you hear what I got next.
Right. I feel like I've gotten better since then. But there's with music, I think all of us have it's situational. So the reason that albums become our favorite albums is due to a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like our environment, where we were at the time, you know, where we were when we heard it, what we were going through. Yeah. Like a lot of that kind of stuff plays into
so
why.
For instance, my favorite song of yours probably has something to do with that.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff. So, you know, the time, you know, in 2002, 2003, 2004, that was a different time. So, you know, who knows what was going on in people's lives in general when that album came out. But yeah, it's definitely a source of pride, you know, to have an album that, you know, is widely, you know, revered as, you know, one of the great hip hop albums.
Like it's in history. Like you can like, and it's a fact. Like my shit is in names with them guys that y'all revere. Yeah. My shit is up in that category, motherfucker. Like, I'm cut like that. Yeah. Wow. Did like when y'all was doing it, did y'all know y'all was creating something special, or was you just creating?
I believe like there's certain songs that we did. Yeah, there's certain songs that we did where it's like
you could instantly feel.
Yeah, you could feel, you know. And then once we completed the record, which is why we took an extra year, you know, like to finite, you know, make sure everything was tight, making sure because we knew like especially once it was completed, we knew like. This is something. This is
like, oh shit.
Yeah, because like listening to Blueprint's production at the time, there was nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't really anybody rhyming like I was rhyming at the time. Like we knew we had something special. Like everybody we let hear it. All of our close friends were like, "Yo, like this is that shit." You know? Yeah. Like we used to have smoke sessions. Like when I was living at the crib, and we had it. Like there's a tape of the original. My cousin's wife, she always gets mad at me because she had a tape of like all of the original recordings before, like all of the demos before, like all the changes were made and all that.
Crazy.
And she let me use it, and I lost it. I don't even know what happened to it. She's so mad at me. But yeah, like it was a special one. Everybody around us knew, you know, that it was a special one.
Man, what's the most rewarding thing about being an artist? The most rewarding thing about being an artist?
I mean, for me, I think, you know, the fact that the music that I make helps people, you know, in their lives, and it gives them, you know, something to distract them a little bit from their daily, you know, that I can be part of someone's journey, you know, in life. I think for me personally, I think that's the most rewarding, you know, piece of it. And also that it helps me, man. Like, you know, the fact that I can, you know, go back to songs and listen to and, you know, see where I've come, you know, see how much I've grown, and, you know, how much more of a effective human being I've become since writing that song, and how that song helped me get there.
Yeah, man. Does Illogic feel appreciated in this city?
Sometimes not. Like, honestly, it all depends on what room I'm in. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like, people don't know that I was the first rapper to perform at Scully's. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
like, people don't know that a lot of the doors that are open to hip hop, my group opened those doors for them. They don't understand that, you know, there was a lot of things that couldn't happen in this city involving hip hop before I came. You know what I mean? And it's not widely known. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I don't feel like I do get my just due, but I take it all in stride. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a point of contention. It's not a, you know, I don't walk around with my chest out. Y'all don't know what I did for y'all niggas. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I'm not that kind of dude, you know. Yeah.
But you got every right to be.
Right. If I wanted to be, I could be. I'm not that kind of guy.
Because that would be a lie.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't be lying about the stuff that I've accomplished and that I've, you know, given to these other generations.
Yeah. A lot of people are like springboarding from now is a lot to do with your foundation and the foundation y'all laid down together.
Yeah. A lot of what, you know, a lot of the earlier groups did, a lot of what Megahertz did, and what Weightless did, and what The Third did, and Spirit, and, you know, like, everybody kind of, you know what I'm saying, and Storm, and, you know what I mean, like, everybody kind of, you know, like, set a foundation, and it's like, okay, now you can move up a little further, and now you can move up a little further, and you know what I'm saying, like, so certain groups always kind of get that respect, but I don't feel like, me and my crew get the respect that we're due a lot of times. But like I said, it depends on the room that I'm in. But, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know that hip hop is in a good place, you know what I'm saying, here in Columbus, with seeing the younger cats that I do support. And,
so you do like what you see now?
Yeah, I do like what I see for the most part. Running something like Vibe Society, which is a producer night that I do every second Friday.
Yep. You beat me too. That's going to be my next question.
Yeah, Rehab Tavern. But having something like that to where I get to reach back and especially with young producers, a lot of the cats that a lot of dudes that come through Vibe Society have never done beat sets. They've never played their beats live.
Wow.
Like people only their family and friends really know that they produce.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's I've created something with going off the backs of my man Cario and Paz 2, who originally started Vibe Society. But we've created something that has kind of given people a springboard to like people have met and created records, you know what I'm saying, because of what we've done. And just like Bernie's, like we created like a central hub where anybody can come, cats that do techno music, cats that do dance music, cats that make hardcore grimy hip hop, cats that make clean just blaze drum, you know what I'm saying, like
crazy big sounds.
Yeah, like whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, like
you're welcome,
So it's always, I just try to make sure that I'm reaching back and I'm doing my part. And whether I get recognized for that, I don't really care, because I know what I did. I know what I do. I know what I've accomplished, and I know how I've helped the scene. And, nobody has to pat me on the back for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just seeing that it's still thriving and that it's constantly getting better is my payment.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Oh man, this has been dope, man. Oh man, I'm glad that we was able to do this. We have a segment that we end the pod on with each guest. It is called Guest to Guest Quest Bowl. So shout out to legendary FDZ Graffiti. If you aren't familiar with her, she's the first black woman graffiti artist here in Columbus. So shout out to her. When she was a guest on here, she helped me name the title of this segment, because I was telling her, I got an idea for this new segment I want to try with artists, but I don't know what to name it. Told her idea. She said, got it. That's the Guest Quest Bowl. I'm like, thank God for creatives. I just got the idea, but I don't know what to name this shit. So what it is, I'll explain it to you, Illogic, and we'll play with you, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So what it is, Guest to Guest Quest Bowl. So every guest that has been on this show leaves a random question for the next guest to answer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So Guest to Guest Quest Bowl, each guest has gone on a quest of their own, and they leave a question for the next guest. All right. So I'm going to hand you this bowl right under here. As you see,
that's a lot of questions.
Yeah, for before I hand you this, I'll explain the game. For those who aren't watching on YouTube, switch over to YouTube right now anyway, goddammit. But no, if you just listening, that's fine. I'll do a play-by-play for you. So in my hand, I have a red bowl filled with random questions from each guest that's been on the show since the segment has started. And it's filling up, so I'll probably have to eventually get a new bowl. So, I don't look at these questions. I don't tell a guest what to write. Right. They write whatever they want, and they put it in there, and I shake it up and I put it back down there. So you can get with it. It's some crazy ass shit in here. I ain't sure gonna lie. Is. But so the rule to the game is blind shuffle. You can't look, and you gotta shake it up blind as many as you want. You can do 1, 2, or 3, however you want.
Okay.
The rule is once you draw it, you have to read it out loud. Answer honestly, and you can't put it back and say, I don't want to answer that. No put backsies.
All right.
I'll hand that over to you, Illogic. Go ahead and give it a shuffle. Don't look.
Yeah. Oh,
all right, I'm going to do a play by play.
All right.
So he's playing fairly. He looked away, gave it a shuffle. All right, he's shuffling.
Let me dig down deep.
Okay, he's going to the bottom. Okay, he got one. Yep, that's one.
Do I take them out, like however many I want now, or do it one at a time?
You can do one at a time.
All right, so I got my first question.
Yep, so you got your first one. Read out loud and answer honestly.
All right. Who is your favorite Columbus, Ohio producer?
Oh, look at that. Perfect fitting question for you.
Yeah.
Nice. Who's your favorite
Do
Columbus,
I have to pick
Ohio?
one?
Gotta play by the rules. About to make some people upset now.
Because I gotta like
you don't work with them all.
Yeah, it depends on. It depends on like what I'm, in the mood for. Because favorite. I mean, it'll have to be Blueprint, probably.
Of course.
Say.
I was expecting that.
Yeah, because I've worked with him the most. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
was y'all chemistry instant?
Yeah. Like it was pretty, like pretty instant.
Like, we meshed well together.
Yeah, like we really got our relationship. He's like a big brother to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, like
so Blueprint.
He would. That's the answer. Yeah. But man, I've met so many producers too, doing Vibe Society now too.
Oh yeah,
like I met so many dope producers that on any given day I could say Maximili, or I could say Stale Brick, or I could say Product, or Flicks Beats, or you know what I mean, AU, like so many producers, RJ, Rashad, So that's not really a fair question because I worked with so many of them, and but
your
I
answer
gave
will be Blueprint.
the easy answer,
the generic answer,
the generic escape room answer. Easy escape. All right,
that's the first one.
I'll do three.
You want to do three? Okay, three.
I'll do
all right,
three.
I like it.
I'm not scared.
There you go. A lot of people are afraid of that bull.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's some shit in here.
It's some crazy
I might regret.
I'm like, God damn, what guest wrote that?
All right, let me see.
Okay, you got another one?
All right.
Question number 2.
What makes you stand out from the rest?
Ooh, you get some good easy ones.
Yeah, I got some good ones.
Okay. What makes you stand out from the rest?
I mean, honestly, I think the fact that I don't hold back when I write. I don't hold back what I share. You know what I'm saying? Like, if like I said, like I don't mind being vulnerable. I never have. It's honestly, it's a weird thing to say, but it's kind of part of my brand. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't hold back emotion. I'm always vulnerable. I'm always an open book, with my writing. And, I got a hell of a vocabulary, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the way that I put words together is different. You know what I mean? I'm to pat myself on the back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like
to piggyback off that. Well, no, finish it. Now I got a question for you.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes me stand out is I'm just a different animal when it comes to the pen and pad.
Yeah, but before you get your next question, like that, because that made me think of a follow up question to that. Have you ever felt the pressure from another MC when you did a feature track with him?
Hell yeah.
Like, he came with that
many a times. Like I was in a group with A$AP Rock, Slug, Idea and Blueprint. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you
had to show up.
Yeah, I've been on tracks with Copyright. I've been on tracks with Raz Kaz. I've been on tracks with you know what I mean? Like, so I've definitely been like, I gotta bring it, or else I'm gonna look like shit. So
you felt the pressure.
Yeah,
like, okay,
definitely
I gotta come with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Has anyone ever got the better of you?
I think so. I'm not scared.
You admit that?
I'm not scared to admit that. Like there's been some songs that I've done where I'm like, his verses. That verse is kind of killing mine. Like doing the Greenhouse Effect stuff with Prince. Like there's certain songs where Prince verse is just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, bro, just like, so yeah, going off. So there's definitely been time.
All right, I like it.
All right, one more question.
We got one more
question.
One more.
All right.
This is good.
Hopefully this ain't. I've gotten off with some good ones.
You've been getting off good because Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
third and final one.
Name a time when your goals and dreams were being tested.
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Ooh,
that is a good question.
Wow.
There was a situation where and this is right after Celestial Clockwork came out. Everything is bubbling. And I was out on tour, and I missed my son's birth, my youngest son. Wow. I was out on the road. And being like that situation made me sit my ass down for a little bit. Because, you know, I felt like I was at a crossroads at that point where it was like, you either become the artist that you want to become and lose your family, and hopefully you can get them back down the road. You know what I'm saying? If all this shit work out, you know what I mean? Or, you know, you take care of your shit and risk losing, you know, all this shit that you've been working for. You got your album is popping, you know, because I had come back I missed my son's birth, right? Yeah. And I come back from tour, and my wife and my kids are staying at my mom's house. I don't even got a place to stay.
God damn.
And as soon as I get home, literally like 2 or 3 days from when I get home, I get a call to go back out on the road.
Wow.
And they're like, and this tour, and I would have been leaving in like 2 or 3 weeks or something. Like I literally just got home.
God
got a newborn son. Nowhere to live. The kids and my wife are at my mom's house. Right. And it was like right. And if I would have took this tour, I would have got a booking agent. It was a big tour too. I would have been gone for like another month, probably month and a half or something.
Wow. Can we say the artist it was?
I was with and it wasn't like it was anything crazy, but it was with I believe it was with One Below, and it was with Hanger 18, who was on Definite Jokes at the time.
Everything was lined up.
Yeah, everything was lined up. Wow. Like we were all popping at the time, and I turned it down. Yeah, I turned it down because, you know, one of my, you know, and with going with the question, you know, a time where your dreams and goals were being tested. I always wanted to be, you know, the greatest rapper that I could ever be. I always wanted to have that, you know, I wanted to be famous for being, you know, the rapper that I, you know, thought I was. But it was more important to me to be the father that I thought I never, you know, always wanted. You know what I'm saying? It was more important to me to be the husband that I thought my wife deserved. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was what goals are more important to you right now. And it felt like I was at that crossroads where if I went one way, my life would be completely different right now. You know, and who knows? My wife probably would have, you know, she may have been like
supportive.
Yeah, she may have been supportive, or she may have left me and came back later. You know what I mean? Right. Who knows? You
mean to tell me you gonna go right back and I thought I just gave birth to us?
Right, yeah. And I don't got nowhere to live. Right, I'm staying at your mama's house. You know, all that. You know what I mean? Wow. You know, and my mom was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And my wife told me to go.
Did she really?
Yeah, she told me to go.
Really?
But I kind of felt like it was one of those, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? One of those, if you marry, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Do you, like the Kevin Hart, you know, do you, boo-boo. Do you. You know what I mean?
When you get back, she was here for you.
Yeah. I felt like it was one of those. And it might not have been. I might have been reading too deep into it. But the fact that, you know, to me, it felt like it was a crossroads for me morally and ethically, and just as a father and as a husband. I felt like I made the right decision. And, you know, to this day, you know, it hasn't killed me. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have a career. I've still been able to put out music.
There you go.
You know,
got
like
a solid fan base.
Still got a solid fan base. Like, you know, who knows, my fan base may be different. It may be bigger. It may be, or that shit might not have worked out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who knows? But I'm still married. You know, I got beautiful grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my wife are celebrating 25 years this year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's something that I can definitely look at and be proud of. And I'm still making music. I'm still making some of the best music of my life, you know, I think, of my career right now. You know, maybe it would be for, you know, a bigger fan base, and maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. But I know, you know, at that time, I think, you know, I had to make the right decision for me, emotionally, mentally, and for my family. And I think I did. You know what I mean?
I think you made the right decision.
Yeah.
Looking back.
Yeah.
Hell of opportunity on the tables.
Yeah.
I gotta be here for the family.
I gotta be here for the family. I gotta get my family a place to live. You know what I mean? Like, let's start there. You know what I mean?
Had him up in my mom's
Yeah, like let's start there with getting my wife out of my mama crib. I'm a grown ass man with kids. You know what I mean?
Here they are.
Right. And I'm out gallivanting across the country and shit. Like something don't look right with this picture.
Right. You believe you made the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me think back on that. Do you think since like you had your family, the kids and the wife and everything, has that changed your outlook on just life and how you approach your music and career? Has your mindset shifted once those responsibilities became on you?
Oh yeah, I mean it has to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you can't be a normal, human being and have those things and not, have it not affect you. You know what I mean? Like, the crazy thing I tell people, I had I got married, I had my first son, and I went on my first tour all in the same month.
Golly.
Yeah.
God damn.
And that's how my marriage started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So she knew that shit wasn't going to be normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my son was born, I got married, and then later that month I went on a tour. It was only 2 weeks, but still, it was my first tour that I had ever been on.
Any first tour.
And my first son was born, so he was, less than
first child, first tour.
he was less than a month old when I left him, for the first time. So my wife knew it was going to be, an interesting journey, you know what I mean? But, she's still with me and, she's always been super supportive.
Talk about like a rider.
Yeah.
Every dude I want a girl that's going to ride for me. I want to ride or die chick.
Yeah,
well,
definitely. Yeah. So it's definitely, changed the way and with decisions that I've made and just how I've gone about certain things, even what kind of stuff I talk about. You know what I mean?
So like your subject matter
because I want to make sure that, I want my kids to be proud of their father. I don't want no bullshit out there that, does not reflect the kind of man and kind of person that I am, as a recording artist. Like I don't want to have to explain away shit that I've talked about on record to my kids like some of these other. You know what I'm saying? Like some people wouldn't let their kids listen to their own music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the shit is so raunchy or so bad or the shit they talking about, it's just like, people that invented the internet, don't give their kids phones until they're fucking teenagers. You know what I mean? Because they know that this shit is bad for them, So, I always wanted my kids to be proud of me. I always wanted, my grandmother to be able to listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? So I've always definitely, taken an approach of, would I be okay with my kids listening to certain things? Yeah. And I think that, that has definitely altered, the kind of stuff I talk about on record and how I make music.
Yeah. Man, nice. Wow. Final question for you, Illogic. We out of here. We're going to wrap this up. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good shit. If you're still hanging with us. If you listen this long.
It's been a long one. It's been a long one.
We've been going for a nice little minute. If you're still rocking with us, salute to you.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do this often. I mean, unless you listen to his podcast. So you can hear him all the time.
Right.
Subscribe to his podcast right now, by the way. Which is the name?
Super Duty Tough Work.
Yeah, you get more
YouTube.
of Illogic right there. Yep. Until that album comes.
Right.
My final question for you, we out of here. What is the biggest misconception about Illogic?
That I'm serious. That I'm always serious. That I'm not,
Man, never laugh.
Right. That I don't have
take everything serious.
Like if you listen to the podcast, you I have a sense of humor. Like me and Print always joke about everything. Like we always joke that people don't understand how funny I actually am. My wife always talks about how, I'm so calm and collected and, if there's a fire, like I'll probably be the calmest person in the room, just escorting everybody to the door, but I think the common misconception because of the type of music that I make is that I'm always serious. That I don't have a sense of humor. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. Like I'm always
very loose, fun guy.
Yeah, like I'm pretty loose. I'm always clowning with my wife. Always clowning. The people closest to me, You know what I'm saying? They really get to see that side. But because I am kind of a, recluse, and I kind of stick to myself, and, especially when I'm out in public and I don't get really close to a lot of people don't get to see that side. But I think that's the biggest, misconception.
Just serious.
Yeah, that I'm just always serious and, always philosophizing and shit. Like, it's not, it's the
people make you read. Watch.
Yeah. Like I'm always got a book in hand, or, always on some, poetry, some Gil Scott Heron shit. Like, I fucking listen to some trap music. So I still, like to party. I still, throw back a couple drinks, smoke a blunt or two here and there, some edibles. I'm still, I'm a normal dude, but yeah, I think that's the most common misconception.
I like it. And I'll give you the last word, Illogic. Anything you want to leave the people with? I know you're talking about, the album is coming. You and Blueprint ready, packaging it up, making sure everything's airtight before you send the kite. But yeah, I'll give you the last word. Anything you want to let the people know, anything they can look out for, and plugs and everything. Last words, I'll give you the last word, and we out of here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? This
thanks for coming on.
Definitely fun.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, again, you can find me Illogic614 on all your social media platforms. Check out Vibe Society. We have a YouTube page where, all of the acts that we have, we record their sets and it's all on there. We've had RJD2, J Live, J Rawls, lots and lots of heads and lots of Columbus producers. My website is IamIllogic.com. And check out the podcast Super Duty Tough Work with my man Blueprint. He just got back from tour, so we're getting back into recording and releasing episodes every week. But yeah, man, just be on the lookout for anything that I drop. If you follow me on the socials, man, like I'll be dropping freestyles, I'll be dropping joints.
I be seeing those.
So just pay attention and you won't miss anything. Just hit a follow, hit a like, and make sure you're there, because I got a lot of stuff bubbling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff coming down the pike. So make sure you don't miss it.
There you go. Make sure you don't miss it. And artists, you can reach out to him.
Yeah.
He's not this mean guy that y'all think he is.
Yeah, I'm not mean.
Very approachable.
I'm very approachable. Very approachable dude.
Yeah, man. This has been another dope episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. If you enjoyed this one, man, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. And more importantly, man, tap in with Illogic, man. Go through the whole discography, man. Go through
a lot of shit.
A lot of stuff. Like, I've been spending days just digging through. I started all the way back and then just forward, and then I bounced around a little bit because it's so much. It's just so much. But yeah, tap in with Illogic, man. Follow everything that he's got going on, and we're gonna be anticipating that album, man. This very personal album. I can't wait to hear this, man. I got a feeling we're gonna go on a journey with him on this.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's one of those. We're gonna go on a journey with you.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Oh, I can't wait for it. I can't wait. All my independent artists, once again, man, send your music. I play music on the pod. I only want to use this platform to support and promote independent artists, man. Send you, because I know y'all feel like ain't nobody paying attention to y'all. I got a platform, so I use it. During the breaks, I play music during the breaks for all my independent artists. Send that to clothtalk, 5 at gmail.com. Once again, that's clothtalk, 5 at gmail.com. We out of here. See you in the next one. Peace.